Hello everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube in all its infinite wisdom has decided that some of the Die Party games are now not suitable for advertising. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the content. I'm not going to censor the videos in any way, but if you'd like to lend your support so that Die Party can continue to grow, please check out the Patreon or subscribe on the Twitch channel. Enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, welcome back finally to Vampire the Masquerade, aka Die Party LA at Night. It's been, what, how long? 4, 5 weeks since we played this game?
A while.
A lot of stuff has come and gone. I got married and went on a honeymoon within that break period. Wreckage sorted out his life.
No, I didn't.
We bid farewell to Tuxtradamus and instead have a new person in our group, and she can go ahead and introduce herself in a moment, but we also found a new player too, so it's It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I don't know how else.
I built a desk.
It's true. He was building it as we set up. So, I mean, that's probably the most recent news we could talk about. But let's go around and introduce all our players. So, up first, we have our new player, storyteller Spira. I've worked with her before, very quickly though. We did like one episode of Vampire the Masquerade. It was like I want to say it was the New York one that we did.
It was Chicago. Halloween Sabbat.
That's
yeah,
right.
Sabbat Elders, as I recall. I wasn't there. I heard about it afterwards.
Yeah, and I surprise played a song, bro. And that was my first sort of foray into vampire stuff. But you can go ahead and introduce yourself, Spiro, and talk about what you do, because you could probably do it better than I can. So, hello.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm storyteller Spira. I just started streaming on Twitch myself about 8 months ago. Well, I did a little bit before that with someone else's channel, but doing my own now, and I run Vampire the Masquerade on Tuesdays, and then I also do Hunter. We just kind of focus a little bit on World of Darkness, a couple games here and there. And like Henley mentioned, it was last Halloween I did a Sabbat one-shot special in the 1920s in Chicago. Nice, fun, big game. If anyone knows Sabbat stuff, it was the Pala Grande, big Sabbat holiday fest, and they did a great job and was a little bit of an MVP by like ruining everything, but in the best way. So it was really fun.
Everyone just wanted to talk. I was like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, everyone else wanted to like talk at their tables at this big Sabbat party, and he was like, I'm gonna go kill people or something. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. And, well, welcome to the show. Welcome to Die Party. It's great to have you here. And hopefully you'll ruin Wreckage's games as much as I ruined yours. So,
well, I'll try. I'm playing Malkavian. That always adds for a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Just dropping the M-bomb right there. Damn.
Yeah, they don't know anything about your character.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well then.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Are you like... Is Malkavian's the one in the mind run, right? Or is that like the ugly one?
Rodney's a Malk.
Okay.
As you have
So it's
guessed.
the ugly one. Okay, good.
No.
Yeah, our weakness, like all the clans have a weakness, is that we have a derangement, and it can come in any form.
Ooh, okay.
They also generally have sort of passive insanity. They have one primary derangement, but are generally an unhinged, disconnected sort of clan. Blah, 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 because that's their curse. It's like Nosferatu, a curse with ugliness. because their antediluvian was pretty. It's Malcav was very insightful, and so he became crazy. That's how that worked.
All right. And
Anyway.
our next player has since had a rebranding since we last talked. But Lilypad Nebula, aka formerly Tux.
Yo.
What up? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. This is the first time we've done a show here since I did everything. So if you haven't seen, yes, I changed a bunch of my stuff because I'm starting my transition. That's going pretty well. Besides that, tabletop stuff, it's good. Video game stuff is good. I've gotten into Destiny finally.
Yeah, I saw you playing that actually.
It's good.
Okay, what power level are you right now? Because at a certain point,
I'm not very far. I'm like getting into the because I only played it for a little bit last night after I got back from doing some stuff. So like I got through the tutorial basically.
Okay.
And that's about it.
You've got about maybe 20 more hours of fun in that game, and then it gets to the point where it's like, yo, give me some more of the powerful engrams, motherfucker. And you're just like, no, you get 4 a week. That's it. No more.
Awesome.
So, you know.
Great.
That'll be fun.
Well, the game, at least so far, the gameplay of it's really fun. Like, just jumping around and doing my weird... I made a warlock, so, like, throwing magic at people was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be playing that a little more. Some other stuff. One of my shows ended, and then one of mine has a few weeks left, and then we're gonna be whipping some other. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing after, but getting that stuff around. That's all good, and yeah, things are pretty good in around my parts.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have the handiest man I have ever handied myself. Wait, no, that came out real wrong. Spooty.
Wow.
What up? How you doing, man? Quickly, let's move on.
A lot better now. Oh, yeah. All right.
Hang on, let me just start.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I'm
So
good,
that's
man.
what I've walked into. Okay.
That's right, yeah.
That was...
Welcome.
Hey, guys. It's good to be back.
Yeah. It is good to be back.
What have you been up to, Spooty? How's that life of yours?
You know, other than the normal, workday crap, I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed, which is weird because
Like
I
the new one?
I hate Assassin's Creed, but I really like the new one.
Okay,
Probably because like the people that made it didn't make like hardly any of the other Assassin's Creed games.
I like the new one, but it's so boring in places. It's just like, I don't care that much about like the side story shit that they got going on, you know?
See, I actually like a lot of the side quests. I think the main story is completely disjointed. I don't have a fucking clue what's going on. But I like doing little side quests like this guy was delivering beer and I haven't heard from him, go find him, and then you end up like discovering shit in a tomb. I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the main story is weird. I don't know. I only have about 15, 16 hours into it, but it's fun. I haven't gotten bored with it like I do every other Assassin's Creed game, where after like 5 hours, I'm like, oh, okay, it's 20 more hours of this.
Did you like Black Flag by chance?
I did, and I think the same people that made Black Flag kind of worked on this one too, I think.
I think Black Flag was the best one they've ever made, and it's even better than this one. Mostly because, my favorite part of the whole Black Flag thing was, like, you're an assassin. He's like, what? No, I'm a fucking pirate. Bye.
Yeah.
And then he just ignored all the assassin shit. Like, that was the funnest fucking moment in my... oh, God.
And that's kind of how this one is, too, because he's not really an assassin, because I guess like the creed or whatever the fuck it is hasn't been made yet or something. I mean, the word origin is in the title, so I'm assuming this is the origin story of whatever the hell happened in the first 3 games or whatever. I don't know. I don't follow the lore. I just like to run around and
have you bought the chariot yet?
No. I haven't bought anything from any vendor.
No. There's a skill you can get where you're allowed to buy chariots as like your callable horse. The moment I did that, it was like I was driving chariots through buildings. I was trying to drive it up a pyramid. Man, it was chariots are fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. I'll check it. I haven't really been able to do much this week. But I did. I've also started brewing my own beer, which I am drinking now. This is the first.
Well,
batch.
okay, hold up. Is it called? What's it called? It's got to be something good. It's got to be something
It's
pun worthy.
called Beard and Brow. No. How about Supper Pub? No.
What else you got?
How about I drink this and I feel good?
That's better. I can get down to that.
Okay. All right. That's going on the label with a picture of Dave going like this,
Yeah.
spitting into his hand.
Yeah. It's called Best Friends Ale.
Super Bro Ale. But it's going really well. It's turned out good. Like, this is the first batch that I made, and it actually tastes like a beer and not like vomit. So
All right. So
I'm happy.
did you aim for a particular type of beer? And
Yeah,
then it
first
like
one-
grew into something else? Like, how does that work?
No, I actually I did a lot of research, and I aimed to make like a sort of like a Newcastle brown ale type beer, and that's what it came out as. But I threw like a shitload of extra hops in it because I like really hoppy beer, and it almost tastes like a brown IPA, which is weird but good. Tastes good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not much of an IPA man. Speaking about being not much of an IPA man, let's go to our GM storyteller for the session, aka Dr. Wreckage. How you been, dude? What up?
It's one of your most accurate segues ever.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Gosh, it's been forever. And what a miserable time it's been in the interim. Life is horrible and meaningless. Let's play games and forget about reality.
I got married.
I know. So, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, or watching this video first in the backlog for some reason,
Congratulations, you're doing it wrong.
we not only did we take a huge break, not only did we get a new cast member, but also previously we ended an arc. So to recap the whole show, some kindred woke up in a pit where they weren't supposed to be in Anarch territory in Los Angeles. Some people wanted to kill them. Some people wanted to honor the Anarch creed of accepting everyone, and so they were given a period of time with which to prove themselves to not be Sabbat spies. Through various levels of success, they both set themselves back and set themselves forward. Eventually, they were able to cooperate with someone who had previously been antagonistic towards them, namely a kindred by the name of Amethyst, and were able to acquire some intel on the Kui Jin, which they presented at Anarch Elysium at Disneyland.
And Wreckage, sorry to interrupt, but you remind me. Can you remind me at that point? That's when Amethyst knew that Braden was the one for her, right?
No.
No, that comes a little after you've
That
had
comes
your
never.
After you've had your final
That comes
kill.
never.
Yeah.
That comes never.
We get a final shot of Braden sitting in the sunrise as Amethyst is just like, I
Shoves
guess
a
he's
stake
okay.
through him.
I guess he's
Yeah, I guess.
I don't
Whatever.
know. Like,
I'll settle.
I mean,
As you turn to ash, you presented the information that you'd gathered on the Kuijin in Elysium, and everyone was very thankful and thought, "Oh, that's really awesome." And then the Kuijin walked in to Elysium with a bunch of guards. This really gorgeous, clearly main character-looking lady. Who we have art of, courtesy of Aristotle.
she was born a protagonist. Yeah.
Yeah. She came in and said, yeah, we were planning on telling you about this anyway. We had no intention of what you had discovered was that they had moved a lot of Kuijin agents into Los Angeles. She said we had no intention of not informing you of this. We're not trying to start a war. What's going on is that someone in the homeland has violated an ancient law and fled to your world, and we are bound by honor and tradition to hunt them down. So we're going to do this regardless of if you're okay with it, is basically sort of what she said. And there was some back and forth, and the Anarchs agreed to allow the Kuijin to hunt down their criminal as long as they had an escort to make sure that they weren't actually, like, you know, positioning for a tactical takeover or something, instead, to make sure that it actually is the a hunt for a criminal. So she also asked for the kindred who broke into her establishment and stole her information to be a part of that escort mission, sort of as reparations. Which is how you guys got lumped into it. Amethyst took an unliking to this Kuijin lady and also volunteered. So she's back on the squad. She, as we said in the previous episode, she regretted it almost immediately. But in the moment, of course, she was a Bruja and she didn't like that lady, and so she wanted to stick it to her. And realized too late that meant having to do work with you guys again. So we're going to come up on this episode with the crash and fizzle of fireworks. Boom, boom, boom.
And all the vampires running.
Ah!
The streets of Chinatown are alight with color and festivity and decorations that are somehow both Chinese and Japanese.
Sure. Yeah.
We're all inclusive.
Uh-huh.
The street fair is parading along with the paper mache dragon, and also has like fried octopus stands.
Hello Kitty.
Like, right. Just put into your mind a 90s movie. Getting
Starring
it wrong.
Jackie Chan.
Right, exactly.
Getting it wrong.
No, because if Jackie Chan was involved, he'd make sure they got it right.
No, but it's a world of darkness. He doesn't get a choice.
All right, yeah. So, a paper mache dragon through the streets, all of these people in kimonos, traditional carnival fair.
This makes no sense.
It's not Chinese New Year. Large plumes of smoke are burning from incense pyres. And that's also not something that you would typically see in a East Asian festivity. Maria, we get a shot of you on a roof. And you have...
Please say brooding.
No, overlooking the festivities. There are on this roof with you are who you understand to be 2 or 3 Kuijin. They just look like incredibly muscular, like bald, like they look like security. Yeah, security for hire. Like Blackwater type thing. They're wearing a suit and tie, and shades, and they look like that. And you, Maria, have a sort of Secret Service style earpiece,
Cool.
and microphone, and you're overlooking the festivities, and you are looking for. You're sort of overwatching these Kuijin to make sure that they don't somehow turn this into a war, but you've also been assigned, you're also part of the mission, right? You're not just there to watch,
Right.
to help. And your job is to find the criminal, the runaway, the betrayer, the traitor, the heretic. You've heard a lot of the thesaurus, that, the repeat of that, a lot of synonyms be slung around by the Kuijin for this guy. They don't seem to. There isn't one word that they're using. The flashback briefly to all of you, including Amethyst and some other kindred volunteers, in a room with the Kuijin and that lady at the front. And she gives you a very blurry photograph, basically, of this guy. And all you know is that he's Chinese. He has long black hair in a ponytail, and he's covered in markings.
Or like tattoos, or like what?
She describes them as like rites of passage and incantations. They will appear on his skin as scar tissue in ornate patterns. And she emphasized that he would stand out. Like, this is a full body thing. Like, this guy is not going to just pass for somebody else.
Unless he's wearing a hoodie. What? No.
Well, cut back to Maria on the roof.
Yeah, so now is a great chance to try out my new power.
Yeah?
Because I got Auspex 2, which means I can look at auras. Can I do it on a group? Or is that not a thing?
So when you turn on Auspex 2...
It's eyesight, right? So as long as your eyesight's not affected, you can see literally everything? That's how
if nobody is trying... So basically the way Auspex works is if you have it on and you look around, you will just see people's auras.
Yeah, it says I can do like a cursory glance of like a group.
Yeah, and similarly, if someone is in any way like somebody has to be working against Auspex for you not to just see their aura.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, they might be able to disguise their aura, or it not show up at all, or it show up as something other than what you're looking for. But I will say that another shocking revelation from the meeting, from the mission meeting, this guy is human.
Oh.
The guy you're looking for, this criminal against Kuijin society, is not a Cathian. He is not a Kuijin.
Okay. I think I would still like to, because I can still get because like the color, I can tell like if you're like a supernatural, but I can also get like if I do well, I can tell what like your emotions are. So like if everyone's like calm and having fun, and then I see one person that's like frenzying or angry or like about to do something, then yeah.
Is there an aura for self-conscious about his face markings and stuff?
There's anxious.
Oh man, I hope no one notices my face markings. I really shouldn't have got him. My mom was right.
He's also depressed.
Oh.
I love this idea that there is an aura in here for frenzied. It's like, I wonder if that vampire is frenzying. I can't tell. Let me turn on Auspex real quick. So what's the distance on Auspex? Is it just eyesight?
I think it's just eyesight. Like it says, like it says I can like, like it says I can look over a nightclub's dance floor or the audience in a gallery.
But you can't look through binoculars and get Auspex.
I would assume
because it's like assisted eyesight, right? I remember that being a thing. At least that was a thing in Sin. It is. I don't know if that's a thing here. So. Yeah.
Well, so it's sort of. It's different because with Sin Eaters, the power is gifted to you by the ghost, and it's the ghost's eyes. And with auspex your
So
blood.
if there was a vampire on the moon, right, and I turned on auspex and looked through a telescope,
Why is it always the moon?
and I saw the vampire on the moon, could I see his aura?
Well, actually, if it was on the light side of the moon, it'd be toasty.
That's true.
You would be able to be on the moon.
You would be on the other side, Dave.
Sure, fine. Ruin a good
All right.
story.
So, no, and with and this is worth pointing out. With auspex and vampires, the blood is magically augmenting the eye. So that's slightly different from, I guess, the concept of how Sin Eater powers works.
Yeah.
So, which is why why I would say the Sin Eater power didn't work through a telescope, but a vampire's power would, I think, work through a telescope.
So look out, moon vampires.
I give Maria the world's best telescope for her birthday.
Yeah, and it's
Give her one
super
of those
useful.
give her one of those like Captain Spy glasses, you know, like. Oh,
All right, so you spend a blood.
And blood.
The power activates. And you can now see people's auras.
Yeah. And this is like some amount of time after our meeting, like after Elysium, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in that time, it was a nebulous. I learned how to do I started seeing auras or whatever and asked about it, and then probably that sort of thing. But
Sure.
Okay. So I need to roll to see how well I see auras.
I will only call for you to roll if there is somebody who is resisting. Or someone who is capable of someone who is attempting to resist and capable of failing is the only time that I would call for a roll.
Okay.
Because there are some powers that also just shut off or a perception without a resistance check.
Got it. Yeah. So I guess what I'm looking for is anyone who's like out of the ordinary. If like there's a sea of like happy and then there's one like anxious, sad, angry, violent person or whatever. Because I assume most of the people are like happy during in the festivities, and then
yeah, you got a lot of very it's a very colorful sea beneath you as you look down at the people, because while most people are probably experiencing positive emotions, they're also experiencing a gambit of positive emotions that all are represented by different colors.
Yeah.
So you're seeing violet and rose and vermilion and bright blue and white. You see a lot of white mostly on children also. Children actually tend to be very white in general. People are flickering or they're inflamed, and it's like when you turn on your power, it adds just as much depth to the festivities as was already there in color and sound and noise, and it's practically overwhelming. Is there any one in particular or anywhere in particular that you look?
Is he seeing through disguises? Like, can he see the auras through like the Chinese dragons and stuff? Like the people inside the dragons, can he see through that stuff? Or she, I guess. Can Maria?
I guess, is there any...
No, you can't see auras through solid objects.
Yeah. I guess, is there any...
Damn,
like... Are there any that are very
paper and glue, my only
anxious?
nemesis.
So that it was like, yeah. So anxious is like static or white noise. Is there any like extremely anxious people?
You see a couple, and if you pick them out of the crowd, they don't match who you're looking for as a description.
Okay.
They just,
so yeah, I guess just overall, I don't really get any like.
There are some people who are naturally, for whatever reason, maybe they don't do well in crowds.
Yeah. I guess my assumption would be that this person would be, if this person was here, their aura would be very, very red, either angry or very, very like anxious or whatever. So like, if I don't see anyone that's like super stand out like that, then I'm just I'll turn it off and like.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome
So you
to
just
welcome
fade
to
into the
World of
crowd.
Darkness information gathering, where everything is just sort of like a shade of,
Well,
more powers you have, the
I was
less
either
powers you
expecting
have.
I was expecting either that, where it's just a giant sea of colors and it's like nothing's really stand out, or I saw them and it was
So
like
your
just super
earpiece
stand
and your
out.
microphone talk only to your group of Anarchs. It's a
Okay.
piece of equipment that the Anarchs provided you. This is not something like the Kuijin apparently have their own communications going
Got
on,
it. Okay.
but you are just like to coordinate with your team. Your microphone can talk to your team of Anarchs.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably like in the visual of it that because in TV, even though there might not be something there, they have to show the power turning off and on. So my eyes probably like lit up and then like they turn back down to show that I was using eye power.
Mhm.
And then yeah, I'll like reach up to the thing and like, hey everybody, I just scanned the crowd and I didn't see any weird standout auras, so that's something.
As you're delivering that line, the scene cuts halfway through, and your voice turns from being there to being over a radio,
Mhm.
and we see Damien on a rooftop. And Damien, you are also scanning the festivities from a different part of Chinatown, slightly different events. You are with a different group of Kuijin. In your hand is a custom pistol.
Hell yeah! It happened, boys. It got
Hardly counts as a pistol, as a matter of fact. And in fact, we
it shoots bowling balls, basically. It's a cannon.
very nearly. We get a cut back, and we cut over to Don Salvador and you, and you guys are equipping for the mission. And he puts this this monster in your hand, and I don't know if anybody had. I'm sure some members of the audience and some here have seen like Hellsing Ultimate, where they have this exact scene. But basically, he's like, this is a custom 500. Like it shoots rounds that are so powerful that a human being could it would shatter their arm if they fired it. They are hollow point rounds. Like it's the only possible bullet that can phase a vampire, essentially. Most bullets deal non-lethal damage to vampires as a rule, and this incredibly custom handgun is capable of dealing lethal damage to a vampire.
All right. In terms of mechanical things, what does that mean exactly?
It is clip loaded. It's hollow point, and it will count as a handgun for all of the rules, except for all of its special stuff doesn't add any damage, at least not on a vampire. It just allows you to deal lethal damage to one. To a human, if you hit them with this, they will die. They will die, and they will also comically sail back 10 feet, even though that's not how bullets work.
It's the noisy cricket, except about the size.
It's a noisy cricket. Yeah, it's like it.
How good is the ragdoll on it?
We got the best ragdoll here.
It's the pistol from Halo 1.
Oh yeah, the game ender.
Yep.
The finishing touch.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, so did he what did it come in anything, or did he just hand it to me? Like, what's the deal with it? How much reverie do I have to give this weapon?
He's like, this is an incredibly custom job. This is a sign that, of a sign well done, that I trust you after what you did. These bullets are incredibly expensive. You have what you have, which is to say you've got 2 clips and the gun holds 9 rounds. So you, So you have 9 in this gun and 18 for reload. And he said, that's what you have. If you run out, you have to come to me and I have to custom order more bullets. So be sparing is essentially what he says on top of that. But if you put this into a person, they will die. And if you put this into a vampire, it will hurt. And that's about the most you can hope for.
All right.
And that's a resolution of a plot thread we started in like the first episode.
Yeah, no. Okay, I just sort of, nod, take the... Does it fit in my holster, or is it like...
Absolutely not.
Okay, sure. I'll just, I guess I'll keep it in, I don't know where I'd put it. Waistband, I guess?
It comes with a holster.
Okay, good.
It has its own holster, which is
Perfect.
not as like leather and
Warm.
sort of is yours. It's like very clinical. Like it looks like this thing just came out of like a clean room.
Perfect. All right.
So that it'll only strap on your like your torso. It doesn't do hip, right? Because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
So it's got like the full torso deal to hide in your waistcoat, as opposed to.
No, that's what I had previously. Yeah. So
all right.
Good. All right.
So we're on this rooftop with Damien.
Yeah.
You're on the lookout for this guy too.
Yeah, I like maybe I've got like binoculars and I'm just looking through and I was like,
sure.
What did you say exactly, Maria?
Yeah, I looked through their auras and I didn't see any weird outliers, so that's something.
No, of course you're not gonna see him walking around outside. That's stupid.
No, I looked at their no, Damien, their auras. I didn't see anything weird. Just leave it at that.
What fucking color is criminal aura?
I don't know, probably red, or I'm new at this. I didn't see anything big or weird.
All you need to look for is a guy that looks like he doesn't want to be there, and he's probably wearing a hoodie because his face is all fucked up and shit.
Well, I didn't see that in the colors, so there you go.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, what aura is it for fucked up face?
So this cuts over to Braden, and we're getting all of that over the comms. And Braden, you didn't get anything special over the break. You are with some Kuijin.
You could have went out and bought a nice hat.
And you're walking the grounds. Actually, you're walking the grounds, and there's actually two groups here because Rodney, it was determined that he couldn't look after his own group by himself. So he has a group of Kuijin, and you have a group of Kuijin, and you're sort of like going through the crowd, and you're listening to this over your head, over your earpiece, and Rodney leans in and he says, "I want some takoyaki."
I mean, that does sound pretty good. Hey, buddy. And I kind of elbow the guy, one of my Queejins. I'm like, hey, you know where to get some. I was like, this isn't racist or anything. I'm just asking. Do you know where we can get some takoyaki?
And he takes.
What is takoyaki?
Is that a vampire thing? Like...
It's fried octopus, he says. And also he takes like one half step back and the camera refocuses and the thing right behind him is a takoyaki stand, which is why Rodney said he wanted takoyaki. Big sign in English. Takoyaki.
You're making me look dumb in front of our new friends.
Takoyaki isn't English, wreckage. God.
I know, but it's in English because it's LA. And while the majority of the crowd is the actual, immigrant community, a lot of people are, coming into the area for the festivities.
Yeah.
The business owners know that, certainly. Rodney's like, you're making you look dumb in front of here.
Rodney, I swear to God.
I'm
finally starting to like you.
There is another cut to the past. And this time it's your team and Amethyst and some other kindred, again, slow rolling that one. Some other nondescript kindred for some reason who are nondescript for some reason.
Is it like an anime where we clearly know which one of them is the next main character?
No, because vampire especially.
Just like a gray form and a blank face.
No, this would be like
Put a question
Durara.
mark on it.
This would be like Durara, where every single side character is like incredibly well designed, because vampire really does go out of its way to treat every single kindred as a unique and special entity.
Yeah.
So like everybody on the team, you've got a guy who's got too many belts, and guy who's like way too into having a tie, and like
I have a walking stick even though I'm a vampire and I don't need it.
Right? Yeah, stuff like that. So the cast of what was the most recent Persona?
5.
Persona 5.
So the cast of Persona 6 is there, and
Persona 6, the vampire game. Oh man.
Yeah, sure.
Where you catch demons and suck blood. What up?
Yeah.
So this is you guys getting equipped for your mission. And we can sort of tell because the previous flashbacks, it's been the same location. And we haven't seen this location before. This isn't one of the warehouses where we've previously had an Anarch mission. This isn't one of the like secret rant locations. This is a new area. It's in the basement of a mansion, and it's essentially the Anarch war room. Like you've been accepted and you're trusted now, and this is a very serious mission.
Yeah,
and Don Salvador is there, and McNeil is there, and a host of other barons are there. To like prep you for this mission, and they're bringing in their supplies. That's why you have these communication equipment. All of you are equipped with bulletproof vests for as good as it does. You can have padded leather armor underneath your normal clothing if you want. You can have any sort of.
You know what? Damien is fucking happy at this. Like he's just like it just reminds him of going on stings, like beating down crackheads.
No, you can get basically all this like SWAT gear.
I like the idea too that there's like a bunch of shit and everyone's like getting
combat
knives and stuff. And I'm just like, is there like a nightstick or something?
I mean, someone will hand you
like a reinforced nightstick,
like a tungsten nightstick, like something that is like solid metal and also doesn't dent under any conditions.
It's made out of silver, so you can beat the shit out of a werewolf with it.
It's not made out of silver, and that's an important distinction because actually, the weakness to silver is not
soft.
Well known.
Yeah.
No, it's not well known. Vampires commonly know that they don't just have unless you are a coterie of vampires or a city of vampires that very frequently fights werewolves and has learned.
Do they like not watch movies or?
Well, it's the world of darkness, right? So these movies have never even they're never even made, right?
There's no horror movies in World of Darkness?
No, they are, but they are all not correct. World of Darkness is based on our horror movies and our mythos. So, we assume that mythos is correct. In the World of Darkness, all the horror movies are like, oh, the way to actually fight a vampire is with holy water, which actually is the case.
Yeah.
Is not actually true. Like, holy water won't do anything to a vampire in this setting. Unless it's genuinely real. We're getting on a tangent.
Rose water. So vampires like throwing rose water at them, and it smells nice, but it's not hurting me.
Yeah.
So, you're in this war room, and McNeil is telling you what your mission is, and he's saying, "Right, so watch them. Make sure they're not actually making any sort of move against us. As long as they don't destroy anything or go nowhere that you don't think they're supposed to be going, or they don't." Building up arms or moving in on influential mortals outside of Chinatown. That's the big thing. Also, when the mission succeeds, don't let them stick around. You'll be responsible for ensuring they hold up their end of the bargain, that their hunter-killer team leaves and goes back to their homeland. We can't have them increasing their forces by so much.
Okay.
But also, if the opportunity presents itself and you can find yourself alone with their criminal, find out what this whole thing is about. They won't tell you themselves. The criminal might tell you in order to lie to him, tell him you'll let him go if he gives you the information. But this whole thing is very suspicious. And we don't know what's going on. It's that simple, really.
Well, wouldn't he just lie to us and then we would let him go? I mean, we don't know if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, but you're not going to let him go because we can't let... Braden, you're not allowed to think or make any decisions on this mission. Just follow orders.
Okay.
The goal is to find out what this tradition that he's broken is. The Kuijin are risking war with the Anarchs on this. And they made it clear in Elysium that there was going to be no parley. There was going to be no negotiation. It was either let them do this or fight about it. And so we're letting them do it. But I don't sit right not knowing why they're willing to risk so much over this. This criminal who's stolen something from him, maybe he's stolen some sort of nuclear bomb or a magic doohickey. I don't care what it is, but the point is we need to know about it. Right now it's in LA. Whatever he's done or whatever he's capable of doing, it's here. And so we flash back to this time, Spira. And you're moving with your team of Kuijin. And also Amethyst is on your team. And Amethyst hasn't previously met you. You have no previous history with her. You are aware that she is a Bruja Baron, and you know that she is very strong. And you know that she volunteered for this mission at Elysium. So why don't you tell me about how you're going about conducting yourself in this festival? And you're muted.
Yeah, and so what does my new gal pal look like?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because
we have pictures.
Yay!
Yes, good job, team. We got there.
If you go to that
Amethyst.
link, you can see all the fan art made by forgot his name. Arasado, thank you. Yeah. You can see all the characters.
Yeah, she's a few pictures down.
Very nice.
So, yeah, Amethyst, as labeled. You know, sort of punk 90s aesthetic.
Right. So my name is Morgan Hartman, and I am slightly newer-ish to the area. Like I've been in California, that's where I was born and grew up, but more north. So I was moving south, became more interested in becoming more involved with the Anarchs, and bit of a couch surfer. So I find myself in just different situations and different friend groups and tied into things, oddly enough, one way or another. So yeah, I found this group that needed some help, and I decided to offer my services.
Yeah, this was very much a situation where basically anybody that wasn't a total neonate could like volunteer and get put on this mission because they wanted as much manpower, not to be sexist. They wanted as much manpower as they could on this mission. And so through happenstance, some people are getting small 3-person teams. Amethyst and you have been assigned to a rather large group of Kuijin, and they seem to have their own plan for how they're going about casing Chinatown for this guy. The head Kuijin, whose name has not been given or spoken in the presence of the Anarchs yet, and whose picture is also in that list at the very bottom, the very last picture, beautifully colored. She has some intel that suggests that this guy will be here during the festival. She wouldn't elucidate on that intel for the Anarchs. There was, just like you guys had a prep mission in the Anarch war room, and then you came and had a prep mission with all of the Kuijin. The Kuijin, had a prep mission before, before they showed up with you. So everybody is not trusting anyone is the point. Yeah. Is there anything you're going to attempt to do?
Where are we, location-wise again?
You are in Chinatown, LA. Your group is several blocks off of Main Street where the main festivities are happening. You're actually sort of moving over buildings that are separated by not exactly alleys. Like, there's still a lot of stalls and things happening underneath you and colors, but like it's sort of away from the main bulk of the festivities. It's a lot quieter. There's a lot more like, oh, here's my handcrafted urn, sell it, as opposed to like food and games. The sort of periphery of the festivities.
And I'm in another small group trying to help out the Kuijin.
Yeah, so you happen to be with Amethyst. She has some Kuijin for her. You have some Kuijin for you. So, if the Kuijin should split up, you would go with yours. Right now, they're together, so it is a large group at the moment. But yeah, you just have like 4 Kuijin that you're supposed to make sure aren't secretly starting a war.
Okay, and we're up on a rooftop or balcony or...
Yeah, whatever you want, really.
So yeah, I will like hands on the edge of the roof of the building, just like look out and kind of take in the whole festival below, or at least what's left of it in the area we are. Just be like, well, this is something.
The Kuijin do not respond to you. And Amethyst sort of clasps you on the shoulder and says, don't worry about them. They got a major stick up their butt over this thing. Let's just keep an eye on them.
I mean, I can understand why, for the most part. But yeah, so what are we doing next?
Hoping that we see this guy. And she sort of says that out loud enough for the Kuijin to hear, but she's also winking at you when she says it, because you do have those secret orders to try and intercept this guy first if possible. Don't start anything over it. If the Kuijin find him first, you're not supposed to make a deal out of it, but if you guys with your communication devices can find him first, that would be ideal.
Okay, and are we expecting he might actually just come down that alleyway?
The only intel that you've been shared by the Kuijin is that they know he's going to turn up at the festival.
Okay.
They didn't say why they know that.
Motherfucker really likes
takoyaki.
Takoyaki.
Yeah. There's just no chance he's not going to turn up.
He's a human too, so he can actually eat it.
The problem with the takoyaki stands is that there's 30 of them. Every 10 feet there's a takoyaki stand. It's like, oh
His
man.
last lucky cat died. Gotta get another one. All right.
Loaded
Yeah. Then
playthings.
actually, I'll similar to Maria, I'll use my second level of Auspex or Perception to just try and take a look at the crowd and see if I see anyone that looks suspicious.
Sure. So spend that blood. And power turns on. You're just looking at the crowd. Is there anybody else that you want to include in that?
I wanted to try and scan, and probably not the vendors, but anyone moving around. Give like a quick scan for like anxious, that sort of thing.
Anxiety in general.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, Wreckage, how much information were we given? Like, are we expecting him to be like hanging out with vampires? Because that would make it very easy for Auspex people to find them.
So all of the information about the person that you're looking for belongs to the Kui Jin, right?
Son of a bitch.
And they have only told you what he looks like in order for you to help spot him. They haven't told you what his crime is, who he is, what he's doing here, or why he's going to turn up at the festival. Like why they're certain that he's going to turn up here at the festival.
Is there any particular chance that I could, since I have, I hate to say it like this because I keep relying on this so much, but like police training, right? In setting up like some sort of like what do they call it where they come up with like
Sting?
like a dossier on someone where they okay, he's gonna be like this, he's gonna be angry or whatever. Like, is there a way that I can find information from like just talk to these dudes that are with me, the QE Gen, and get like some sort of like information about his
let's resolve
well, I mean, like, this might help them find it, right? So
let's resolve Morgan's scene before we do a scene with you.
No, I mean, this is just like an assistance to help her roll or whatever, right? So
right, but you want to talk to the Kui Jin, so that would be a scene.
No, this would have been like previously, like whatever, like it wouldn't have been.
Right, but they're not going to give you any information willingly, so you'd have to roll for it.
Oh, okay, all right, I get you.
So, you turn on Auspex and you look through the alleyways for any suspicious auras. You, especially away from the main crowd, there's actually very, very few, or like anxious auras. But I would have you roll your wits plus your empathy plus your Auspex rating.
Okay.
By the way,
Difficulty 6?
Difficulty 8.
Okay.
What does Morgan look like, by the way?
That's a good question. I only got one success.
Actually, oh no, wait, you put in you didn't roll with your sheet, right?
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's fine because you haven't filled out your sheet yet, and that's fine because you did do your sheet, and I have seen her character sheet. Chat, don't worry about that. But the character sheets roll for us, so
Okay.
you know how to put, like, you know the formula because you play World of Darkness. The other players don't, so they rely on the sheet. But if you use the sheet, it also subtracts ones naturally.
Oh, okay.
So we would know. But just for future reference, we can
get that set up
later. Yeah.
Morgan is like 5'6", a little on the shorter side. Kind of thin, but not really athletic. So just like kind of a little like generic average height and weight. She has more of a rounded heart-shaped face, bluish eyes, like kind of like muddled, like a little gray in there. And then she actually has sort of like a medium length black hair that curls a little bit, and then she has it like bleached and dyed at the bottom. Like she changes it every now and then. And since she's kind of artsy and fashionable, she tries to dress nice, but she doesn't have a lot of money, so she makes do with what she can. Lots of thrift stores.
Grandpa's close.
Yeah.
So, you get one success. You don't see anybody who's anxious. You don't see the guy. Something about the crowd in the alleyway doesn't add up, but you aren't exactly putting it together. There's just something amiss. You're sort of missing the last critical piece of information that you would need to figure it out. I would allow you to retroactively, or rather now, if you want to spend a willpower and maybe take on some mental strain here, we could maybe get the rest of the way on this.
Yeah, breaking in a new character, I'll spend a willpower.
All right. So the way we're gonna do this, every once in a while, just let this just creep in. Something that you wouldn't even notice or pay attention to at the time, but while you're trying to puzzle this puzzle out, your puzzler gets solved by.
I'm following you.
Right, it's a Dr. Seuss quote. Anyway, so it was a reference. You don't even notice this, but in the moment, you hear a voice in your head tell you, it's not what you're seeing, it's what you're not seeing. And when that passes by, you suddenly realize that there is someone moving through the alley right now who has no aura. None at all. And
It's the hoodie. The hoodie blocks the aura. That's what it is.
This man is not wearing a hoodie. It's he's pushing a one of those like 2-wheel ice cream carts that has an umbrella coming out of it. And he's all done up like an ice cream salesperson and doesn't look like this guy at all that you're looking for. But he does not have an aura, and he's pushing, and that's super suspicious. And he's pushing like this ice cream cart, and also like he's not selling ice cream. Like as you watch this guy, somebody comes up and is like, "I'd like to buy some ice cream," and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm all out," or something, and like just keeps going. Like he doesn't have the bells on or anything. He's just sort of pushing this cart. And you see him, like you watch him, he disappears. Like he's going to go around a corner. He's going to get out of your view. Like, are you going to make a big deal out of this? Are you going to try and not alert the Kui Jin? How are you going to handle this?
I'm going to try to get Amethyst's attention.
Did we have a code word? We had a little meeting ahead of time, right? With our own secret thing. Did we have the moon blinks its one eye or some bullshit like that?
Okay, but that would be a terrible code word because all of the Kuijin would be like, okay,
what the hell does that mean?
They just said their code word.
I don't know. She's Markavian. She could.
Right. No, but I would let you guys have a secret.
That's awesome.
I would let you guys have a secret phrase if all four of you can agree right now what it would be.
Check out this weirdo.
Check out this weirdo with his. Does everyone agree?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
Check out this weirdo.
All right. So you're like, hey, check out this weirdo. And she sort of comes over and is like, yeah, right. And she's like, which one? I don't see it. I don't get it. And she's sort of like scanning the crowd with you. So
I'll point, and so kind of audibly, even for the Quajin, so it's just like we're chatting and be like, oh, this guy's selling ice cream, but he's totally out, but he's still walking around. I don't know.
Um,
And I'm gonna just be a little more quiet, like I'm not seeing anything aura-wise.
do you have any manipulation?
I do.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll. I'm gonna have you roll for this to make it super easy.
If you succeed, the Kuijin just thinks that you're American, and
That's
gonna
what
have
I
you
was
roll-
going for.
I'm gonna have you roll manipulation subterfuge. I'm gonna give you 2 bonus dice. It's difficulty 5. Because I can lower the difficulty too, because I am the storyteller and I am allowed to do whatever I want.
it's like, you're
Wow.
right, that is
5
strange.
successes.
Right, so you overwhelmingly succeed. You succeed. It's not succeed with style in this system. It is something though. Exceptional success, I think.
Something.
But
You
all
are now
points-
their god.
no, the point is the Kuijin literally do not even pay attention to this conversation, and also you are able to like convey the actual meat of the information to Amethyst. I would even let you transmit it over your thing. Like, this guy has no aura and is moving through the alleyway. I would let you get all of that communicated to Amethyst. Certainly to Amethyst. You're open to do it over the intercoms.
Okay, yeah, I'll use the intercom and just little short-handed. Got a weirdo. Don't see anything shiny about him, you know, round that body business.
Braden with you, Rodney's like, a weirdo.
Did she say weirdo?
Yeah, she said weirdo. He says he doesn't have an aura.
Well, what does that mean?
It means he's a weirdo. Weirdo. And he's like saying
I'll
it
get
to-
on the thing. I'm like, where is he? Are we close? Are we nearby?
you can communicate the location. All of you now know sort of where this ice cream guy is heading.
Ice cream guy.
So the problem is, if this guy's your guy, which you don't know, but you know, like, let's say you want to go after him, period, right? Like, in some way you want to go after this guy, like, you are with your groups of Kuijin. Like, they probably want to ditch you as much as you want to ditch them, but if you just disengage, it would be suspicious. So if anybody wants to go after this ice cream guy, each of you will have to figure out.
Okay, I got the perfect plan.
Well, I was
Perfect
gonna
plan.
be a food cart inspector. Put my inspector hat on.
Okay, but how does that get you away from the Kuijin? I don't
I
care. Like,
Get them takoyaki or whatever it's called.
You go over there, eat that stereotypical Asian people food. I'm gonna go over here and get an American whole-bodied ice cream. Thank you very
I
much.
distract them with one of those waving cats.
all right, you're gonna have to come up with a plan that is decent.
Okay, well, I can make an illusion and just disappear.
Braden and
Just-
you just continue to walk, and you just slink off. Braden and
Rodney.
Rodney.
Yeah, just create an illusion of you guys like walking at the back of the pack, and then like eventually it fades when they wouldn't be paying attention, and
Right.
like at that point you don't know where you went.
Yeah.
That will you'll have to spend a blood and a willpower because chemistry is very expensive.
Yep.
But that they aren't expecting any sort of foul play, so it will just succeed for you and Rodney. Of course, Rodney didn't need any help. He's already gone. But you create the illusion of him anyway. I'm more interested in I was actually very interested how Braden was going to manage, but he's done it successfully. Braden, you can now sort of start beelining for this the ice cream guy.
Oh, did we
Maria-
ever change your demeanor and shit? Because how are you going to get your willpower back? Did we ever
Yeah,
change
we did.
it? We did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool, good.
What did we change it to? Because it used to be like...
Yeah.
It's Thrill Seeker.
Oh, Thrill
Yeah.
Seeker. Okay, cool.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's easy.
So Damien and Maria and also Morgan, your groups, each of you can take it in turn to decide how you're going to try and ditch your cohesion.
All right, I turned back to them and put down the binoculars and just sort of like rub my eyes and was like, I'm fucking thirsty, boys.
Ah, that's right. Your kind.
Wait, what the
Must
fuck?
feed.
My kind? What is
Yes.
that? What are you trying
Your
to
kind.
say?
Kindred. Vampires.
Wait, what?
So what you're trying to say is that you expect this of me? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Your insatiable thirst makes you monsters. You feed on people like cattle.
Are they...
I mean, I don't know if you've tried cattle. It's fucking delicious, or it used to be. All right,
It
so
tastes like beef.
that is a good analogy if you want to go that far.
You've done enough offense, and he's done enough like. You've done enough like I'm offended, and he's done enough. Oh, you're fucking pathetic people. Like at this point, he's just like, go feed, like, go give in to your base urges, as your kind is wont to do. Like he won't even care if you leave now.
Yeah,
Like that just fucking works.
yeah. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, no, he was totally dismissive of it. Like, it 100% gets you off the rooftop, and you can just head right over to this ice cream guy. Maria or Morgan.
So I think I'm going to attempt to like just lie to them, and I think I'll just be like looking around, and I'll like point to the crowd, and then just say something like, "That motherfucker owes me money." And I'll just be like, "I'll be right back. I got. If I lose him now, I'm never gonna see him again." And I'm just gonna like head off.
All right, give me a manipulation subterfuge.
Okay.
You can have 2 extra dice. The difficulty, however, will not decrease.
What is the difficulty?
It's always the 6 is base.
Oh, okay.
Base 6.
Manipulation.
Your character sheet will default to that, right? So
Subterfuge. I
2
get
extra dice.
2. 6. 4 successes.
They don't think anything of it.
Logging them.
Noise.
And finally, Morgan with Amethyst. Amethyst will actually turn to you and be like, "All right, newbie, you got an idea for how to ditch these losers?"
I love the idea that these guys communicate later on. It's like, so what happened to your vampires? It's like, oh, they left. Like,
They all left us. Yeah.
Wait, did your guys like leave at 6? It's just about 6. They all left at 6.
Huh. What a coincidence.
God damn it! Like,
They were talking about some weirdo.
I love it. Yeah.
so Spear, what's your plan? You're muted again, by the way.
No, I was still thinking anyway.
Okay.
But,
Well, so the racist card has been played. The money card has been played. The I'm a Ravnos card has been played. What do you got?
I'm thinking I'm gonna like turn my head over my shoulders like, hey, actually there's like an ex of mine down there. I'm just gonna go say hi real quick. Don't worry about me, I'll be back in a minute.
It'll be super awkward. Don't follow me.
I'm probably going to spend a blood point on doing so don't worry about it.
So roll me manipulation subterfuge, difficulty 6, 2 bonus dice.
So how does Amethyst follow you? She's like, I like awkward, and this follows you like.
Was that for me, the manipulation subterfuge?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Plus 2 dice, no difficulty change.
3.
You'll get used to the table talk in a minute. Don't worry about it.
So, like, this totally works. But as you're sort of like sailing down to street level, landing harmlessly and silently, you look back up to see Amethyst like, what the shit am I supposed to do? Like, yeah, okay, she's got an ex. Like,
That's also my ex as well. So let's go make this weird.
Right, like, basically Amethyst comes over, like, you guys are all heading for the ice cream truck, and she's like, well, thanks a lot, newbie. Now I'm fucking stuck here. I don't have anything to follow that up with.
Good.
Gotta
So
think on your toes, girl.
So you've also ditched the friendly NPC.
We don't need a super strong NPC to take down this nerd. No, we got this
you'll
ourselves.
all through the contrivance and convenience of plot, you'll all from different directions arrive at the ice cream cart at the exact same time. It's already been ditched out back of this. Like, it's very obvious that it's been ditched here out back of this particular like nondescript building.
Oh, for some reason, I just sort of like, Damien runs up, opens a cart, licks the ice cream, he's like, it's warm. It's been here a while.
Oh no! You know what's even funnier? It's like blueberry. They can't have gone far.
Ice cream.
And then he promptly vomits because he put food in his mouth.
So yeah, you guys are all at this nondescript building. It's just offside of the festivities. The festivities basically surround this whole area, but this particular alleyway it's too much of a like trash cans and dumpster alleyway for them to have any stalls or anything. So it's not, some people maybe are walking through it to get from one place to another. And this building is incredibly cliche. It's like a Chinese herbal remedy, acupuncture, like it does all of that stuff, like monkey paw, like the really offensive sort of Indiana Jones, like let's go down to Chinatown and have the ancient wise Chinese mystic explain to us about Chinese culture and how also they can do the magic thing. So yeah, it's that sort of horribly offensive stereotype.
90s.
And it has a bunch of like payphones inside of the actual building, which is weird. But
Anyway,
90s.
Yeah, the 90s just had payphones everywhere.
Yeah.
It did.
So, what are you guys going to do? Like a man with no aura has walked into the sort of place where you would buy a cursed monkey paw and be cursed.
I mean, like, so give me an idea here, because I didn't grow up in America. I'm not a racist cop or nothing. What's the likelihood of a cop walking into a fucking Asian place and being like, throwing his weight around and shit like that?
I mean, if there's a suspect there, he would probably do it because that's his job.
During the festival, it would be slightly less likely.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, even in the horrible racist 90s, like, in order to keep racial tensions to a minimum, they would have, like, Chinatown would be outside a racist cop's beat, right? They would have the 2 or so Asian cops on the whole police force. It would be their beat. So,
yeah.
Having a detective come in wouldn't be like unheard
Detective
of.
Wong, I'm here for.
But in this instance, we haven't actually gotten to like, oh, hi, I'm a shopkeeper. How can I help you? So I'm less interested in what your cover story is. I'm much more interested in more like
how
are you entering this building? Like, are
back
you
door, just walking in?
Right? Are you just walking in though, or like
that's what I mean. Like, if I was to walk in and just be like, fucking,
are you gonna
stand down, I'm a cop, whatever, like, is it gonna be like a huge problem? Because if that's the case, then I won't do it. But like,
I mean, it could be a huge problem. You would have no way of knowing until you've actually.
I mean, it's a pretty skeezy place. You probably wouldn't want to advertise that you're a cop right away.
I was gonna say, are you in uniform or are you in civvies?
Well, he's walks. So Damien walks
he dresses
around
like Magnum PI.
Yeah, but he has like if like he will still use the badge if it helps, right? But it's like if you were to like eyeball him and be like, oh yeah, that's fucking a cop, like you know what I mean? Like you can see
the haircut and everything.
The haircut.
Like he would never pass for like if we ever had to do the I am here to buy drugs.
Hello, fellow drug dealers.
Brought the fucking pig.
One marijuana, please.
I hear that you are selling bowls of cocaine. I would like to purchase one of those.
Can I buy a granule of cocaine?
Yeah.
Now, is it like a cereal bowl?
Is the milk heroin?
I'm good to go in.
Okay.
Like just as a customer, but I would like to, I think, use Mask of a Thousand Faces so no one sees me.
Right. So,
What is that? What is that?
New powers.
what's this? What's this?
What's that? What are you doing?
There's color everywhere. So, Malkavians, which we haven't interacted with before, they have a or wait, is this an obfuscate power? Am I being dumb?
Yeah, no, this is third level of Obfuscate.
Right. So obfuscate can make you invisible.
Nice.
It can also just disguise your identity.
But it's like glamour. It's not like changing the way I look. So if I even made myself like an inch taller or like longer fingers or something like that, and someone touched me,
you can also like
kinda...
it says here you can create an imaginary face or superimpose the features of another person on top of your own.
Right. It's like
higher successes let you do more.
Oh,
yeah, guys. So why don't you roll activation on that then?
Manipulation plus performance difficulty 7.
I'm going to assume that she has the rules.
Damn.
Fucking what? Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
I am going to turn
you know
into
what it
Donald
is?
Trump and walk into this place.
I have not rolled yet, so we're rolling good until I roll.
Yeah. Dave, don't roll anything.
Got it.
So,
Shoot
in
it.
all seriousness, is there any one or thing in particular that you would like to appear as you walk in, or just not you?
I'd like to appear as Damien and walk in there and be a racist cop, please.
So again, like, this is looks like a touristy trap place.
Well, it looks like a stereotype, but it's clearly not on the main road.
Will Smith!
Wait, what?
We're getting recommendations out of like what I can turn myself into
Right.
anybody with 5 successes.
So Will Smith is the joke of this.
So there's been an ongoing joke that we're
Will
in
Smith-
LA in the 90s and Will Smith would be living here and be starting his career. So we keep joking that we will run into Will Smith. So that's the joke.
It's a
I'm
good
sorry.
one.
I'm
It's
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
you
a
had to find
good
out like
one.
this. I was gonna tell you, and I just couldn't find the right time.
Difficulty 10 to turn into Will Smith. You
Look,
actually become, like, there is no Will Smith in this game. You just are Will Smith, though. That's how that works.
So not you, or like particularly, do you want to appear to be of Asian descent, or do you want like what's the plan here?
Yeah, I'd like to look like a very unassuming, maybe middle-aged Asian woman.
All right, so
Love it.
so Mick, every Asian woman is
Yes.
suddenly standing there, and because usually the joke is Mick every man, but you have to put more words in for this to make sense. So you can walk in. Are you guys gonna let her go in ahead of you, or
Obviously, it has to be Mick every womanu.
okay,
Gotta add the little
right.
error.
I will wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in. I mean, I'm not gonna. It doesn't. Like I've never met Morgan before, so you know, I don't know what she's doing. And
She
to
just
me,
fantastically turned into a disguise
Yeah.
in front of your very eyes.
wait, does it actually do that for me as well? Because
Yeah.
it says a kindred's physical form does not change.
No, the physical form
Not
doesn't
physically,
change.
though.
The appearance
So-
of the physical form.
Right,
So
it's
it
just
can-
like an illusion over her.
Yeah, it can fall, especially if someone like touches me and I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
taller
Just
or
like with
shorter.
Ravno's chemistry illusions, if something like breaks the rules of the illusion, then the illusion breaks. So in this case, as you are creating a physical illusion, if someone touches you, or if you interact with a bookshelf maybe too forcefully or something, like if something would cause it to be obvious that your arm isn't as long as you said it is, or you're taller than you are saying you are, or whatever.
Okay.
In this case, not much has changed, just the race and clothing.
Do you say anything of the sort, like, don't worry guys, I got this, or whatever, or do you just like suit up and walk in, or like, do you give us any idea of what you're doing? Because to give you an idea, we're like fresh off the slab, right? And I've never seen a Malkavian do a Malkavian thing. I've never seen obfuscate. I've never seen that in action. So I might have, but I might not have noticed it. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Never seen it in action.
I would have definitely wound up doing it before even realizing I should mention something. And
because if you don't say nothing, I'll probably still do it. But yeah.
As a more middle-aged looking Asian woman now instead of a young little white girl, I'm just going to realize suddenly, you guys might not realize my plan as I'm just gonna go in distraction. I don't know, whatever works.
Holy shit! I can't believe my eyes.
I like that. I look over at Braden and I'm just like, she might be one of your type, Maybe you should ask her some stuff or whatever.
I don't think so. I don't know what's going on right now. Is there like a wreck? Is there like is there more than one way into this place?
So there's the back door, which you guys are at. There are various windows, and there is the front door, which, going there might, you're hidden back here certainly from like Kui Jin, who are looking out for things.
I do have stealth. If I go stealthy, could I maybe like kind of hang by the corner of the alley to make sure that the ice cream man to make sure the ice cream man doesn't come out the front door?
Yeah, like
okay.
you can definitely be in a position to be aware of somebody leaving the rest of the building without exposing yourself.
I'll put my collar up.
Well, it's not so much that. It's just you can position yourself to still be hidden in the alley, but also have sensory input for the rest of the building.
So
I'm still going to put my collar up.
I'll turn to Morgan and I'll say, okay, so I'll give you a minute, and then I'll follow you. That way we're not associated or whatever.
And I'm gonna start heading out of the alley to go actually into the store from the front.
Sure. You go into the store from the front. There is a closed sign, but the door isn't locked.
I'm gonna knock and try to put on more of a quieter voice than my own. Hello, are you still open?
There will be no response.
Okay, everything's free then.
I'm just gonna nosily poke around the window on the outside and tap a couple times like I'm looking for someone.
Grandma Thrift is gonna have a way with this bitch.
You definitely see the incredibly stereotypical cliche shop that I described earlier. Some eyeballs floating in a jar for whatever fucking reason.
That's what I want to see my acupuncture.
A skull that has a candle. Ooh. That sort of crap.
Shit just got real.
Magic carpet genie's lamp. Rings that probably turn you into your girlfriend or something for a week, and then you find out how whack each other's lives are, and then if you don't turn back before look, I'm talking about all these weird
if there's
moves.
A little cage with a fuzzy little creature in it, just leave it alone.
Right. Mogwai, they're right there.
It also sells the Furbies toys.
It's just a Furby in a metal cage.
No, it's a Furby with one of those stickers on the forehead with the kanji on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
The demon sticker.
Oh god.
A ward.
Next Senator's game, whatever toy it infests, it's going to be a Furby next time. You got to make it a Furby.
When we redo Senators, it's still going to be Mattel. Mattel's still going to show up.
Make Mattel in a Furby. Come on, that'd be fun.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Mattel's joke is that he's a speak and say or whatever.
A flying spin and say or whatever makes way more sense.
No. Anyway. Every occasional moment, he just to say, "I love you," and he's like, "No, I actually don't. I can't stop that from happening."
I have to say that.
So you continue to like look in and make noise, and there's still no response.
I will just try to like act casually as if like I thought the place was open, and I'll head at least to the corner of the alleyway and like leaning in towards Dave and be like, I don't think anyone's home.
All right, fine. I just go up to the door and just Perchance break it.
You don't need to. I said the door was unlocked.
Oh, good. Then I walk in. Casual
Yeah.
I feel like he would
AF.
just do it anyway without even checking.
Kick the door in, kill on whoever's on the other side. Perfect.
Yeah. Right, so I mean, it's a glass door. Like you open it, there's the bell, like ding.
And this is the back alley, right? I go in the back door.
Oh, you're going in the back.
I'm going in the back door, man.
All right. Yeah. Also unlocked.
Yeah.
You are in a much different scene. Like this is somebody's. Like there's a staircase down to storage. There's also a staircase up to like somebody's house who probably lives and operates this shop. That sort of thing. There is a little like Buddhist shrine.
What's the lighting situation in this place? On, off? Does it look like no one's home? Is it pretending to be no
burning
one's home?
incense is about the most light that you're getting, which is only just enough to tickle your fear fire. Just tickle it. There is a lot of it, enough to light the place, but they're like burning incense is just slightly less fire than even a cigarette, right?
Yeah.
So it's like okay, like it's like that's about where you're at. It's just like okay, like no roll.
Yeah, I get triggered. I go back to when I was walking through the supermarket.
Yeah.
As a human and smelling all the crappy soaps and incense that come from that one shop and hating it. But now I'm a vampire, and when I look at that, it's just fire, and I get reminded of the crappy smell. So it's double, it's double triggering.
Going on a real emotional journey here.
Yeah.
Is anybody else gonna like enter in now that?
I'll follow in after Damien.
Okay.
Yeah, I would fail that roll.
Can I see like where I'm standing at the corner? Can I see the alleyway entrance and the front door?
I mean, you can't.
Like, am I covering us?
But you can, like, you can't see the doors themselves because that's not how right angles work. But you would be able to tell if somebody left, right?
Yeah.
Also,
That's
we
what I
can
meant.
communicate with each other. We have a little walkie-talkie
Right.
thing.
You got the whole things.
Okay.
So if you want, you could say, "Let me know when you go in," and we can just be like, "We're going in," and you'd be like, "Okay," and then you just come with us, like. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming we've said that, so I'll pop in the front door and follow Morgan in the front.
All right. So you guys sort of meet in the middle. There's nobody in the store tending the store, which leaves the back, in which there is a staircase that goes up and a staircase that goes down. One presumably to storage, and the other presumably to the person's apartment.
So here's what I'm thinking. This is my detective senses kicking in and my player senses. I think there's a secret tunnel in the basement. So
Yeah,
that's
100% secret tunnel.
Yeah, like into the sewer or some bullshit like that, So, yeah, I'm going down.
I'll go to the stairs that go up, and I'll just like listen for a second to hear if I hear anything.
Auspex?
Sure.
Spend a blood? No, we'll keep it on from the previous scene.
You don't
Who
have to
cares?
spend a blood to get Elspec's 1, right?
Yeah, just my regular Auspex. It just pops on and off and on.
Right, got it. In that case, like you can hear, there's like a what's it called when a fan goes back and forth?
Oscillating.
Oscillating.
There's an oscillating fan that's on up there.
What was that word again,
Yeah.
crew?
Thank you.
Oscillating.
Sounds like maybe there's some wind chimes up there for some reason. Maybe like a bird in a cage or something. There's no sound or like there's no suggestion of a movement of person or
Okay.
something as large as a person.
Got it. Yeah,
If,
I'll follow them down.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the last time I saw Damien go down some stairs, he ended up getting punched through a building. So
That is absolutely 100% true.
I'm gonna follow him.
Right. So everybody's going downstairs. Downstairs, there is no secret tunnel.
Damn it.
is, well, maybe there is, but that's not what you see first. The storeroom is not a storeroom. It appears to be a shrine. It's the floor is all wood, the walls are all wood, the ceiling is all wood. It's all immaculately carved. It's all got like kanji and spirit runes, and it's like rope tied with like paper, even though that's a mashing of Chinese and Japanese, because that's what we're doing with the Kui Jin, because that's what they decided to do. They said the Kui Jin are both Chinese and Japanese, so we are melding the cultures, not intentionally offensively, just sort of, omni-Asian cultural.
Speaking about not being offensively, I automatically say, look at this Asian shit.
Oh my God.
Pull out my little camera.
In the room,
Take a few
there
pictures.
is an old man.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
An old man wearing a sort of priestly vestments, and your mark, the guy covered in fucking like scars. And they appear to be engaged in some sort of ceremony, and they just haven't noticed you.
All right. Cool. What is does the priest look like? Is there any way that we can get an idea? Maybe this is a better question for the Ospexy people, who can, see auras and shit. But I can't really ask them without alerting them, I guess. So my first thing
I do like sign language. I'm like,
I pull out the pistol wreckage, the new one, Dr. Boom,
and kill Braden with it.
Nice.
Blow his brains out.
And I'm just like, I point it at both of them, and I'm just like, we found you guys, and you're in a lot of trouble, so don't move.
So your mark has his back to you, as like their orientation to the room. The old priest is like scared and shocked. Your mark sort of very calmly responds, "We had wards in place for Kui Jin. I certainly didn't expect your kind to get involved."
What is this with this shit of your kind? Like, I'm getting fucking sick of this stuff. Like, do I look like I'm supposed to be anything other than I am? Like, what the fuck?
He stands.
Don't make any movements, or I'll put a hole in you, buddy.
He has finished standing when you say that. And also he has a I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. It's a QIANG, which is a Chinese. No. It's one of those Chinese spears. It's one of those. It's one of those sort of Asian spears that has the red tassel at one end.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Right.
A tassel spear.
Right. Well. Okay. Yeah. This spear is also slightly different. It's covered in sort of like symbology.
A quang?
Yeah. I said I wasn't going to be able to pronounce it, and then I spelled it, and I said it was spelled that.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
So this spear is also slightly different than what you might look up on Google Images, because besides having a red tassel at one end and a metal point, one end is a metal point and the other end is a wooden point, also with a tassel.
This fucker. Okay.
Uh,
Like for you, I had Maria move my heart to my foot.
Yeah. What's up?
Find it now, bitch. Come on now.
oh, that's a good idea.
He continues to talk. "I have no quarrel with your people.
and put down the bloody spear, and then I could believe that.
You drew your weapon on me first.
Yeah, well, you got all those face tattoos. I don't know what the fuck's up with you.
Maybe let's just I don't think he's gonna hurt us. Just chill out.
Look, I got this. I'm an expert
Lower
negotiator.
your weapon, and I'll lower mine.
That's not how this works. See, you're an unknown. We don't know nothing about you. So...
You're an unknown to me, and you have violated my home.
While they're talking, can I pump some blood?
Sure can.
Okay. I would like to. I'll do a strength and a dex.
I will remind the party that their goal here is to question this person, not kill them.
I just.
I was gonna say I specifically didn't follow at least right away, so I'm gonna follow last, and I'm gonna use just obfuscate 2 to just kind of stay back and listening.
Sure. Right. Anyway, conversation continues. You are also an unknown, and you have violated my home.
As far as I can tell, it's a store. So, you know, whatever you
It is
want to
also
believe
a
in.
home.
People live in all kinds of places, Damien. I mean, it's
Brayden.
Listen to your
making me
associate.
nervous.
De-escalate the situation, Damien, and put your weapon down.
I don't like the way that you say my name.
What's your name? We haven't been properly introduced, but my name's Jose. This is my friend Damien. That's Susie over there. Yeah.
I would be happy to exchange pleasantries with you. However, my people are not allowed to have names.
All right, so what do we call you?
Oh,
Really?
I've just been calling you Ice Cream Guy.
Fine.
So,
You
all right
can call
then.
me Ice Cream Guy.
Tit for tat. Tell me why the QE gen want to get all up in your stuff, and maybe I'll put down the gun.
I stole a sacred object from their reliquary and brought it here to that Los Angeles.
And so I'll like, you know, I won't point at the gun at him, and I'll just sort of like put it down a little bit, you know?
Sure, and he will also sort of like, he was holding his spear in a way where he could turn it into, but he doesn't let go of it, but he sort of holds it up like a walking stick instead of like a weapon.
Yeah. And I was like, so,
And this time he also turns because he's been keeping his back to you since you said no sudden movement. So he's turning to, and also at this point the old man has sort of like sat down and is like patting his forehead with some like a napkin because he's sweating.
so why are they rustling our jimmies to get this piece of paper or whatever you took?
Well, what I took is this, and he points with his spear to what appears to be a stone circle about like the size of an extra large pizza, and about 2 inches thick.
Like,
And
I
it's-
gasp and I say, "It's the first wheel."
It,
Like I like the idea that everyone just sort of looks at Brayden at that time. It's just like, I was
it is a
thinking-
totally featureless stone.
You could feel the shadows judging you.
That's normal.
There is no markings on it. It is completely featureless.
And what makes that wheel so special then, huh?
This wheel is a sacred object that marks a very important cosmological calendar. Its nature denotes a piece of information that they do not want anyone else to know. All the relics in the reliquary are sacred, and I would be branded a heretic and hunted down mercilessly and murdered for the theft of any of them.
Wreckage.
Yep.
Are our mics like? Do we have to put like our finger up to a thing and turn it on, or can we just have them on?
You can
I
leave
also-
them on.
I also imagine that would they pick up what he's saying?
They're not very good. This is the 90s. So
oh, okay, then never mind. Yeah,
it's
I was gonna
not
say I was gonna have it on, but
Here-
so
I would love, and maybe you could say if I have this or not. tape recorder?
Nope.
Damn it. Got it. Damn.
Not at this point.
No.
Not at the point where you're
So
like,
what we needed to do
can we
is just
record him?
we
Oh,
just
shit, do I have a tape recorder? If you had said before, hey, I carry a tape
So
recorder.
what we need to do the thing they do in TV shows where it's like, so you stole that stone because it's an important calendar object, huh?
Yeah.
Just obnoxiously
yeah.
repeat everything.
Just
he says.
repeat everything he says back to
Well,
it.
except for Amethyst, you're all here.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and I was gonna have it on now that we found the dude, so she could be like, "Oh, I'm not
Anyway,
listening." But yeah, if that doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
If you were going to be branded a heretic and hunted down mercilessly if you stole a relic from the reliquary, then why did you steal a relic from the reliquary?
I do not believe that the information contained within this artifact should be kept secret, hoarded by the Kui Jin who do nothing and accept what fate lays in our path.
Is there like writing on it? Like I don't really. It doesn't. It looks like a wheel.
It's probably one of those things that you put into like a, you get like one of those gemstones, you put it in a stick, and then you put that stick in a light, and then it points it at it or whatever. Either that or you
yeah.
spill blood on it.
Is it like
this
that?
isn't some sort of. We have some of those. This isn't one of them.
Those are in aisle 3.
Oh, you're thinking
This is-
about Indiana Jones. That's over that way. Don't worry about it.
I have answered a lot of your questions, but to be perfectly honest, some random vampire thugs are not the ones I intend to deliver this information to.
Well, here's the thing, nameless ice cream man. The Kui Gen know about you. You know, I'm sure you know. And
Yes.
the thing is, they've kind of... we pissed them off, and now they want our help. So unless you give us something that means that we're going to piss them off even more, you've basically got the entire LA county of vampires on your butt, you know. So there's that. Just letting you know.
For what it's worth, Damien, I am much more concerned with the Kui Jin being on my tail than all of your kind being on my tail.
Oh, because the Kui Gen are so scary.
You do not know the Kui Jin.
They don't
just
even
as
have
we-
haircuts. They're all bald.
Well, not the green lady.
Some of them also do have hair. They aren't.
Is
all
he just like
faces
some of them actually have hair? Like, I've seen some of them that have hair. You know, you're not.
Let me clear it for the record.
I could see why you think that, but like some of them do. Like,
I hadn't expected any resistance from your people, but now that I am aware of it, I can prepare for it.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm saying is it does
Resistance,
exactly. It doesn't need to be resistance. We can, if it's worth our while to help you, because you know we don't like them as much as you. They're kind of annoying, and here's the thing: they're bringing in a lot of people, and we don't want that. LA is
They're bringing in a lot of people to hunt me down, so the only resolution to that is if they find me, which I can't allow. So I don't think I can make you happy in this exchange. You see, I don't think this, and he gestures to the relic, would be of any interest to you and your people. I don't think your people will care.
Well, that's the thing. You're making a lot of presumptions here, buddy. You don't know what
You know
we
what
want.
happens when you assume?
What happens when
Make
you
an
assume?
ass out of you and me.
Okay, there you go. What he said.
'Cause
That
that's how you spell assume.
I'm not a native English speaker.
That's why I explained the saying to you.
So why do you
Right.
need the old man in the vestments then? Hmm? What's he here for?
This relic is insanely ancient and cannot maintain its physical form in this plane without regular blessings.
Okay, so this is some Dungeons and Dragons shit then?
I'm not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons shit.
And it's what all the soccer mums are getting up and up. It doesn't matter. Look, we're coming at an impasse, okay? We have our own reasons for talking to you. Otherwise, I just would have put a bullet in you and be done with it.
Can I take a guess?
Sure, gander me.
The Kuijin didn't tell you why they were making such a big deal out of this, and your superiors informed you that you had to learn.
No superiors. We're a group of cool guys who don't have any leaders, as far as I've been told.
Fascinating.
Hey, look how cool I am.
So yes, if you help us, we'll help you. That's kind of how we're going with this. But you know, there's a lot at stake here.
Here's my counter offer, Damien.
I say as I look at his stake.
I can promise you that this relic poses no threat to you or your people so long as it is in Los Angeles, and it will not be in Los Angeles for very long. If you turn around and let me leave and do not inform the Kuijin that you are working with that I am here, give me a mere couple of hours to get this blessing done and move on, then your city, your state, your whatever will not be affected. And when the Kuijin know that I have gotten away, then you can start to bargain for them to leave. The alternative, I'm afraid, is that you have to take me in, because only proof of my capture will expedite the removal of the Kuijin's forces.
What about if we do?
Do we know what the consequences are for not completing this mission with the Kuijin?
Well, so, like, it depends on what that means. If the Kuijin just don't find him, then they're going to spread their net, and a lot of their hunter-killers will leave because they'll assume he's left LA or whatever.
Right.
But if they believe that you interfered and stopped it, then that means war with the Kuijin.
Well, is there anything that we could give them? Like, if we take, like, an ear or something? Right? Like, is there something
no.
that we can give the Kuijin to, like, leave him in peace?
Especially at this point,
You know?
like, you have to come back with the... Like, if you said, oh, we fought him and kill him, they'll be like, then where was the thing he stole? And you're like, oh, you didn't tell us where it was. But then they'll still be mad at you, and then there'll still be war, right?
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I do, right? I go, all right, look, we can do something to make it work even better than this, right? I have a friend who can make a double of you. We're going to kill that person, make that body look like yours, hand that over to the Kuijin.
But they want revenge on me. Their goal is also to recover the relic.
Yes.
So their hunt doesn't end any faster with my body. In fact, they'll only be infuriated with you for not recovering the relic when you killed me.
Well, we don't
And
know.
that could spark a war.
We just don't know what the relic looks like. Okay.
Well, now that's a good excuse, but it's not going to be good enough for them.
What I'm saying is, we need to know about why the Kuijin is here, and I want to help you. Or we want to help you. In exchange
I
for that
appreciate
information.
that you're willing to make a double deal, and my offer is already on the table. If you want the Kuijin to leave your lands as soon as possible, your only possible option is to kill me.
You're
But
not
if
you're not
you let
giving
me
me any
leave-
reason to keep you alive, though. That's the problem here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's significantly easier for me to probably take you in and let the Kuijin have their way with you. Unless you tell me that they're, doing something that would unleash an elder god like Cthulhu or some shit.
I suppose it doesn't look much like it, but I can promise you that if this comes to blows, even the 5 of you, he says after a pause, will not be sufficient to easily bring me in. And it's also worth pointing out that Rodney also obfuscated Morgan.
I'm gonna step out of the shadows with my arms full, just like.
And Rodney also reappears from the shadows, and he was next to the old man. And the old man's like,
He was the chair that he was sitting in.
He was the ceremonial robes that he's wearing.
and then Rodney says, this guy's really good at hide and seek.
Yes, Rodney. Yes, that's nice.
So we're just to go on blind faith here that you're not going to unleash something even more worse than the Kuijin on us with this circled disc.
I can see that the impasse that puts on you.
I mean, why can't you just tell us what it does? Like,
Yeah.
tell us about it. Then we can make our own decisions because we're big boys and girls.
All right, I have an additional offer. Another way that we can make this work. The information about what this relic is and what it does is very sacred to me, even though I have violated their rules in stealing it. I don't just want to share it with anyone. If you leave now and allow me to perform the blessing, I will allow one of your number to accompany me, and we can meet at a later date and a later time where I will be more comfortable sharing this information.
But you've got to do it first, right? That's the thing.
And since I will have an escort, I won't be disappearing. But at the next location, the next time that we meet, if there is no trap, if there are no additional people, then I will know that you will keep a promise you will make to me now to tell no one that we met. And that will give me enough to trust you.
Fuck it, I'm in. I hate those Oriental bitches.
He coughs?
like what? Like an awkward cough? I mean, like.
No, he coughs like, as if to say, I am also Asian.
Well, I mean, you're one of the. Look.
My head's just gonna tilt in Damien's direction. So like, real charm, aren't you?
One of the two who can go invisible will be my escort for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I look at Rodney and I look at Morgan. I'm like, Morgan.
Hey.
What's that supposed to mean?
All right, fine. If that's how we're doing it, then whatever. And I'm going to turn and walk back up the stairs.
Do I get no say in this?
Just discuss amongst yourselves who would be my escort.
So, do they let me go up the stairs?
Yeah, they're letting you go up the stairs.
Okay. The second I get out of earshot.
Do you know what earshot is? He did just see through shadow obfuscate.
I walk 7 kilometers away, Wreckage, and then I make a phone call.
I know we have smartphones. We just blast a lot of really loud techno.
I pull out my boombox. I connect my.
How about this? We'll trust you if you don't listen to our conversation.
Go do this. La 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 la.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Earmuffs.
Maria, what were you doing?
Do
it.
I'll get upstairs and like to the door, I guess, that I came through, and then I'll like go to my to thing to Amethyst and say, did we see what this place was called? Like, or just
Pins
random
and shit. That's what it's
random
called.
antique shop or whatever, like whatever the name is.
You have not seen the name of the shop, and I don't think anybody's discussed it openly for any reason.
Was there anything in the store that said it?
Madame
Like,
Wong's Emporium and shit.
No, there's a sign out front. Also, I think it's probably it's probably full kanji. Like this
A
place
man
is
with a plate, a dude that looks like he's dancing.
you could
well, she saw the ice cream dude going down this alley, right?
She knows the general direction. She just couldn't get away from her Kuijin.
We went like down more alleys,
right.
or
Right, but also you could give like you guys would have like this isn't a big deal. You guys would have done like streets, like you would have learned street names.
Oh, okay, sure.
Like
Yeah. The most important thing is that I could tell her where we are, basically.
Right.
Like or how to get here or whatever. I'll get to the door and just like tap my thing and like tell her that and like he's here.
Okay, did you I mean, you got some time, like fuck. She sort of says to herself, like, is the piggy in the basket? Did you fry the ham? Like, you know what I'm fucking asking here?
It's here. The thing.
Okay, but did you like learn?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want?
If we want to get him, and a lot of them and you and us can probably get him right now if we wanted to.
So we're just playing ball with the KJs?
If we can end it tonight, I'm pretty much down with that.
Oh shit, Maria's doubling back. I like it.
If the fucking shit they're talking about, they're trying to play this out, it's going to last for weeks.
Yeah, but is it going to last for weeks in our favor or just be a big fucking headache?
All of them that came are going to stay here for a while if this happens.
Fuck.
I
also like the idea that we're listening because we have all the communicators on and we're just sitting there going,
Morgan's sitting there just like, okay.
What the hell?
damn, Maria. Damn. You come back, you just like it's kind of like when you see those TV shows where the guy leaves his mic on and goes to the bathroom. You know, like,
yeah, I hate all those assholes. Hi, everybody. How's it go? Oh, no. Why do you all look so angry?
Hey, best friends.
So, we're going to do a roll before we go to break then.
I want to tell her that also he has wards for Kui Jin, so just if you bring them, tell them.
I have no idea what that means, but if you bring them, tell them.
He did something.
Right.
They'll know, probably, right?
They'll know.
They'll know. They're Kui Jin.
Right. So,
wards. Yeah.
What I need from you.
There's one Kui Jin ward.
What I need from you is a manipulation stealth roll.
Manipulation stealth. I have those.
They're good. You're gonna need them. It's also gonna be difficulty 8.
Oh my. Can I? I'm gonna put a willpower into that.
I'm gonna. By the way, that Morgan picture.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It's perfect.
Manipulation stealth, and then I'm putting a willpower.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
Now draw the Asian grandma version of her.
That's so good. Oh my gosh.
She's probably going to use mask if it will. We shouldn't put Aerosito with that much work.
Yeah. Aerosito's not on the hook for drawing every single time that she uses it as guys.
Now she has her favorites. Asian old lady is one of the favorites. You know, like.
Only when I get 5 successes, I go all in on the old Asian lady.
Man, she looks like such a Malk too. Like I can tell this lady is gonna flip on me in a second.
What are you talking about?
All right, so difficulty 8. I'm putting a willpower in, so there's 1 success. And hey, 3 successes.
Nice.
What's this for?
I'm assuming talking and not letting him hear us.
Yeah, so you're all in the room with your things on, and this guy has like super senses. So
yeah, I'm basically like throat vocalizing upstairs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like.
It's not even the fact that you're upstairs. Actually, it's the fact that we just said that everybody's got their comms on.
Oh yeah.
And
Sure.
they're all still in the room. So let me see if that guy can.
What you
Okay.
got? What you got?
So we're gonna go to break before we reveal the results of this roll.
All right.
Okay.
Maria,
Uh-huh.
Amethyst is gonna come back over the radio and ask.
Okay.
All right, so just quick little thought here. I sent them your way because my team found the guy, but we weren't supposed to split up, and we weren't, we were supposed to call it in right away. Like, what's the cover story here?
Well, we all got away for various reasons. Just on our way back, we saw something weird and checked it out.
Are you all going to be there, like together as a group, sort of conspicuously?
We are currently.
Do you think you guys could leave before I send them?
Most of them are about to, I think. Something like they were gonna leave one of them here to hang around for a bit.
All right, I'm going to sit on this. You come over comms and say, green light when it's time.
Okay.
And that when it's clear and nobody's suspiciously in the position of suspicion, that's when we do it.
But
Okay.
they won't be suspicious of green light.
All right, you've all heard this as we mentioned.
Mhm.
Does anybody have a reaction to this other than just playing along?
So I turned to the guy and I'm just like, well, it sounds like we're about to get fucked.
I don't understand the expression. Is this like assume?
No. So here's the thing. One of us.
You'd rather assume, trust me.
Yeah, one of us didn't believe your hobblegoop. So, yeah, do you have like a secret tunnel? I don't laugh, by the way. That's me laughing. The callbacks are good,
He sort of his eyes narrow and he says, "The one who just left."
Yeah.
She didn't strike me as the sort. That's.
She's a
Fine.
scientist,
Practical, doesn't care about this sort of thing.
I would say more skeptical than anything. But look, I don't want any of them in my town. So anything that we can do to make them go away, good. I also don't...
She is choosing the thing that would acquire that fastest.
Yes, I also want to believe you. Because, let's just say time is irrelevant these days, now that I don't have all the time in the world. So,
So you'd rather follow along and see what you can learn, and maybe betray me later if it suits you, but no need to do it now.
there's a lot I don't know about what you're doing, and putting a bullet in your brain is not going to help that.
Well, why don't you tell that to your friend?
Well, that's the thing. It's a little late.
Well, we did just all hear Amethyst saying that she's now waiting for Maria to say green light before anybody comes in.
Yeah. So, actually, you know what? Yeah, I do. I say, Amethyst, just don't. Okay, just don't.
Wait. Look, okay, let me just... So, Amethyst says this over the radios. Let me just get right out in front of this right now. I am definitely going to listen to Maria over Damien.
What about me? Boo?
You're muted. Yeah.
I'm not muted.
Wait,
No, I'm talking to Lily.
What?
Oh.
Look, you obviously don't know radio etiquette because we heard everything you fucking said.
I know how radios work.
Obviously not. Jesus Christ. All right.
So, like, mystical Chinese guy with spear is just sort of like sitting there while you guys have a quarrel.
Yeah.
So, like, cough.
Look, I don't want them in our city.
Neither-
This will get them out tonight.
Yes, but they're here because of mystical shit. The more we know about the mystical shit, the better chance we have of them being like, you know, oh, we're gonna come back doing more mystical shit, but now we know about it. Isn't that the? Do you forget about what we were asked to look into? The
We
mystical
found
shit?
it out.
Well, there's mystical shit. Come on, there's more to it than
They
just
got.
that.
There's a stone calendar rock thing.
Look, you're
I'll explain
literally
it.
upstairs. Just come downstairs. This is really fucking weird.
I'm not up. I'm in the alley now.
No, yeah, and still just use the radio because I want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is that everything everybody has seen since, you know, not being human anymore, maybe we should actually, consider learning a bit more. So the next time stuff like this happens, maybe we have a little more information.
Thank you.
That is very reasonable. That's the most reasonable thing anyone in this group has ever said.
Well, now that Braden agrees with it, I super don't.
Well,
Maria-
God damn it.
don't you want to
I
know
don't-
about what this shit is, Amethyst? Isn't that like something
Okay,
that you
so-
want to learn about?
So let's just get this out of the way. We
So what?
don't know anything yet,
No.
right? We just don't know the details.
Nope.
But we could just get it done, and that makes sense also.
Well, and if you do rush in, we will get to see each other again.
Look, this guy's ready
Reverse
for
psychology.
this guy's ready for the QE gen. So, you want to make it messy? That's how we make it messy. You know, it's also a fucking carnival outside. So, you know, Masquerade. You forget about that shit. This is-
Norwegian don't care about that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we do.
they'll handle it. If they know he's there now, literally they'll just go. We can just get the fuck out of here. They'll handle it.
Look, I don't trust those QE gen. They're gonna stick
temp-
around. Regardless, this place is too nice. You know that. How many people have tried to come into this turf since the what are we called again? The Anarchs. Since the
Anarchs.
Anarchs have moved in.
They were
everybody-
doing fine over in the east.
Well, and then they weren't. You know, that's why this whole thing's happening is because they sent a small army.
Right, because he stole a thing. They get it back, they go home. They're on vacation. A really bad vacation.
Yeah, but they're willing to send a whole small army for that thing. Maybe we want to get that thing.
Why
Maybe
do
we
we
want-
care? It's a stone calendar.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
It's the
That's what he
first
said.
wheel.
He said it's some sort of stone magic calendar.
Would you go halfway around the world for a fucking stone calendar?
risk your life, feed.
It's probably a
Excel.
really fancy stone calendar. I don't know.
Look, would you rather have military intelligence or strength?
Look, I want them out of the city because if he does his thing, and whatever the hell happens because of that, they're for sure going to stay.
All I know
All
is
of that was very vague.
Guys, this is Rodney, by the way. Guys, and also girls. Look, it's listen. So we don't know which way to go on this, okay? Some of us want to go one way, others want to go the other
well,
way.
let's make a
Both
fucking
sides-
vote. This is what the Anarchs do. Let's vote.
Yeah, exactly. We're a democracy, right? We're a democracy, supposedly.
All right, who's in for, helping calendar bro? Say aye. Aye.
I
All right. So, what? I guess the swinging vote here goes to Rodney.
Both Rodney and Amethyst. So first of all, you're supposed to follow that with all opposed say nay, and then all abstaining.
Well, I mean, that's just the other guys.
No, Dave, because when you do ayes and nays, you also do abstains. So if of the three people remaining, somebody abstains, then nays lose.
All right,
If-
does anyone abstain? That's what I fucking thought.
All right, so it's tied. Probably because the GM doesn't want to be put in a position where he has controlling vote over a player character decision.
Well, that's why you don't even out.
But in that circumstance, technically 3 player characters are voting one way and another player character is voting the other way. Maria, all of your buddies want to do this thing even though it doesn't make any sense to you. Like,
we don't have to sit here and keep arguing about this for another hour. If they're going to just do it, then whatever. But like,
well, so you sort of, Amethyst has said she's going to listen to you, and to keep all things true, as far as the rest of the party, nobody else has gone through any effort to cultivate a relationship with Amethyst, and you have. So she really would listen to your opinion over everybody else's, and she's the one that can call in the Kui Jin here. So if you want to just do it, they can't stop you. But that sort of does create a schism in the party. I guess what I want to say is, without arguing back and forth for another hour.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Amethyst one thing.
Okay, yeah.
We go back and tell them what happened. Would they be happier with knowing that they found their guy and can deal with it, or that we let them go and we're now lying to the Kui Jin and that entire army is now going to stay here for the indefinite future?
If they find out that we had the guy and let him go, that's war. But if they never find out that we let him go, we take him ourselves, we kill him ourselves, we take the shit ourselves.
No, we go back and report back to our Anarch buddies.
Oh, the Anarch buddies? But we also let him go. They don't care. The Anarchs won't mind that we let him go. So we say that I assume there's a reason we're letting him go, by the way. I haven't been told the whole story in character, but let's assume that we say the whole story.
No, I tell her that but apparently he's going to come back and tell us more later.
Okay.
And that's all we got.
Yeah, they get an escort as well.
The hopeful promise that he's going to tell us more later, and we also let him do whatever magic ritual he was about to do.
It's just a calendar, you say, so it shouldn't matter.
Okay, so all right, I have a response to you, Maria. A question before I answer your question. When I assume he's said that it's not a big deal, like he's not going to open some portal or whatever. Do you believe that? Do you believe him? Does it sound like he's trustworthy?
I don't know.
Okay, but you don't strongly feel...
Not particularly.
Okay, right. So here's what I guess my thought is. McNeil and Salvador really want to know what the shit is. If they don't capture him, it means they stick around longer, but they can't stick around forever if they... the only way they stick around forever is if they find out that we had the chance and didn't take it, because then they do war. Like, they can be here longer looking for him, and if they never find him, they still eventually have to leave. They only have so much bargaining power. And eventually also they'll think he's not there anymore. So I guess, we're either all in or we're all out here. I get there's no half.
I was trying to take the shortest route to not having a war.
Yeah, that's definitely the shortest route to not having a war.
I don't know. They get their magic mumbo jumbo, and then they have a war, and they have a super weapon too. So
it's not you just told me it wasn't a super. If it's a super weapon, we're moving.
No. Okay, we don't know. This is the route we get to find out what it is.
So are the Kui Jin
they're willing
for double crosses?
They're willing to trust this one Kui Jin over the rest of the Kui Jin. So whatever that means.
He's a human.
He's also a Kui Jin, though. Right?
He's of their culture. So something that you're not sort of intimately aware of yet, but has been sort of suggested by some of the Kui Jin. The Kui Jin do not hide from their mortals. They have a relationship. They know that, mortals know that the Kui Jin are supernaturals. The Kui Jin, they don't have a masquerade at all. So they sort of intimately interact with each other. And the Kui Jin will have if you stormed a Kui Jin base, right? A lot of them would be Kui Jin, but a lot of them would also just be human guards who know that they're protecting a supernatural's hideout.
See, I look at this movie like The Road to El Dorado with that girl who's trying to take gold out. This guy's the girl trying to take gold out, right? And they don't want that.
So let me just say this: as you guys are having this conversation, it's been quite long. The guy with the tattoos, the scar tattoos, is like, we finished blessing this thing. I understand that you've been disagreeing about your next course of action, but we're done, and I'm ready to move on.
All right. Well, he's about to leave, so.
We still haven't finished that vote. Unless you want to throw all the rules out the window. The only rule that we have.
I think
Fine.
it's good that Maria says no to the vote.
Yeah, but that means it's 3 against 3.
Amethyst is obviously in favor of fighting, and I don't want to vote.
So then it swings in our favor, right? That's how that works?
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll just take this gamble and hope it leads to actual actionable information. So
yeah, turn back to Tattoos McGee, and I'm like, all right, Bob, you're up. You need one of those invisible bros to go with you?
You hadn't decided who it would be either.
Morgan, you up for a little stroll?
As long as it's not too claustrophobic, sure.
I mean, we're on the ground right now, so...
Yes, but I don't know where we're going.
Use the invisible power you used before. Most of the Kuijin will not be able to see through it, and maybe tail me a certain feet back so it's not obvious. And then he like, you're not quite sure what he's doing, but his physical form shifts and he looks like a normal dude instead of a dude covered in scar tattoos.
Neat trick.
It is nothing compared to what your kind or the Kuijin are capable of, but I have learned a few things.
I didn't realize that humans could do magic tricks like that.
When you are familiar with the Chi, you can...
Okay, yeah, sure, okay. He's like, I have ancient Asian rituals. And I'm just like, yep. Cool.
Look, the book, it's Chi, okay?
it's okay. It's
Chi in
okay.
the book.
It's okay. I know. It's okay.
It's Chi in the book. I can't.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Hello,
It totally
MacGuffin.
is. I
Good
know.
to
I know.
see
I know.
you.
That's
It's
why
okay.
when he said it, I was like, hee hee. Shush, baby.
It's funny because World of Darkness isn't alone in being like, oh, Asian magic? It's Chi. Of course it's Chi.
Right,
That's all
yeah,
they
no.
have, right?
It's Chi.
Like
He
Marvel
pulls out
does
like
it,
a-
DC does it.
He
like,
pulls out a poster that shows like arrows going through a body, and he's just like, "Look,
Yeah,
it's all
like
breathing."
fucking
and-
every
Shitty.
single
It goes
thing,
in
like
and out.
It's
Yeah.
shitty,
So-
but that's whatever.
To defend World of Darkness for once, they don't do like they do what they always do, which is okay, like mortals know it as Chi. Here's how it actually works, and it's their whole oath. It's their own thing that has nothing to do with actual like.
Yeah. It's not as bad as Iron Fist.
No, it's not as bad as Iron Fist. Like they have this whole thing where it's like they
Good.
wrap it into the World of Darkness mythos, where like you know God and
Is it
demons
like-
in the afterlife and.
It's less Iron Fist, more Three Ninjas. Sort of.
God.
I mean, it's the basic part of it is like there is the afterlife and the world of the living, and then like heaven, and energy flows between the three of them. And vampires and Kuijin are like they're undead, so they draw their power from that sort of side of things, just like sin eaters too. And then there's other entities, maybe say angels, if you ever encountered them or whatever, that draw their energy from the other direction, and they're more rare.
Yep.
And then there's also like corrupting things, and then there's radiation at one point. Look, don't worry about it. It was the 90s. I'm just saying that they actually put effort into it. They didn't just go like. There's actually because it was a splat book. and like considered a pretty big splat book, there's more writing on the Kui Jin and how their powers work than how like
I feel
the
like
clan's disciplines work.
You know, as someone who isn't in the world of darkness, like, 100%, it feels like they made a book and then someone asked a question and some guy was like, yeah, how the fuck does that work? And then he just wrote a thing to try and
so
fill
the
a
actual
hole.
history of it is that the Kui Jin were just bad guys and they were just Asian vampires, and then they released a we want players to play as it book, but also they were like, we don't just want them, it's not just another bloodline, so let's do this whole thing. And then that's sort of how the Kui Jin became this whole other weird thing, and they're not actually vampires, and like, we're not dealing with any of that. Sort of as Spira said, I'm doing a little bit of homebrewing here, because for me they are definitely still vampires.
Okay.
In the Splat book they end up being like ghosts or something. Don't look too much into it.
If I remember correctly, like, to shorthand it, I think it's supposed to be that, like, you die, your spirit goes back to your body, but you're dead, and actually you start at, like, what would be similar to a low humanity vampire. I think you do actually need to drink blood, and then it's like
then you go up and you become more enlightened, and
and then you only need to get the energy from other people.
So it's like a
actually
reverse
needing the blood.
Sin Eater. I like it. Yeah. But also a vampire.
It's also I've heard people compare it to the opposite of losing your humanity as a vampire. So they kind of like just go back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also they all start as like, they're all criminals. This is part of it too. Like, you have to be a horrible person to be reborn as a Kui Jin. That's part of it too. It's not like you sire somebody.
So it's like the whole like religious redemption fucking arc.
Yeah,
shit.
it's a little purgatory style.
Mhm.
It's like second chance to like make something better of your life.
Anyway,
I was gonna say, as Morgan though, I'm still kind of like tapping my fingers, like, that still doesn't tell me where we're going.
well, now that the Kui Jin are hot on my tails and I no longer need this man's assistance, I can move out of LA. So we will be heading towards the state of Nevada.
Good.
I will respect your limitation, and we will find lodging before the sun rises.
Yes, that was definitely a bigger interest.
Come with me. And they sort of leave. Is anybody going to do anything? Or are we just going to play ball?
I think we play ball. Like, does the priest leave as well?
Priest lives here.
Okay, I feed on him.
After the guy leaves?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I need to have fed. Wait, probably not. I could probably just say that I fed, but like I did tell those dudes that I was gonna go eat somebody. So like,
You're just trying to hold up your end of the story.
Sure.
Yeah, I had a guy, and it turned out he was right here, and all the rest of my guys showed up, and this
Plus-
is also her ex, and you know,
let's hold up the masquerade just a little.
and the
bit.
guy who owes Maria money. So it was, it just
Yeah, we feed on him. We bite him, and I don't know. We put some lipstick
Take his
on
money.
him and like make a kiss mark on like.
it'll hold up to inspection. Absolutely, 100%. Nobody will question it.
Yep, got it. Cool. Well, I guess I just make my way back to the QE Gen. I mean, like, so you said Nevada, right? I'm not familiar with my American states. Like, where exactly?
It shares a border with California.
Yeah,
it's
just
it's
east.
the one that has Las Vegas in it. So
Okay.
it's just
So
east.
we're going into different people's territories?
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see.
Are we all like, is the plan that we follow, or do we meet up somewhere later tonight and we all go? Like, how does this work?
So the plan is that Morgan is with him, so that he doesn't just disappear, and that he will use Morgan and her intercom, her radio, to contact you guys with a meeting location probably tomorrow night, is what it sounds like. Like, he's gonna move as far as he can tonight. The Kuijin also can't move during the day. Like, they also are vulnerable to sunlight. So Like, he probably normally would exploit that to move extra far, but he's respecting that he has a tail who can't go out in the day and is going to stop somewhere before nighttime and then probably give you a meeting location tomorrow night.
Okay.
So everybody plays ball. They go back to their various Kuijin groups. You know, it doesn't seem like it to us, but really this transpired within 20 minutes, right? Like, your absence is noticeable, but not like it didn't take the 3 hours that it took us to role play it, right? Is, I guess, what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
The festival continues. Nobody finds anything. They call it off like an hour before, you know, sunrise, because they have to go back, right? And they inform you that mortal retainers will continue the search, but obviously mortal retainers aren't a vampiric threat, so they don't need an escort from you guys in any way. Like, you wouldn't be worried about that. They're just sort of saying it. And by the way, we're not just giving up. Like, obviously some mortals are going to take over during the day. You guys have to report before you guys are going back to the war room, and that's where you're going to be sleeping tonight. And you have a report to make, and Amethyst isn't quite sure of all of the details either. So between Damien, Maria, Braden, and Rodney, like, is it just a complete and exact retelling? Is there any embellishment or like opinion that you want to add to it?
Soldier demeanor. I would give the report, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So Salvador's actually the one who has the anxiety, and he says, is there any chance that they notice your absence? Is there any way that they could find out that you did this?
I don't think so. I mean, I played up the fact that we were vampires and they were pretty ignorant and stupid, so... They thought that, you know, everything that we did was disgusting. So as far as they're concerned, us doing our disgusting things means that we've got the perfect cover, alibi, whatever you want to call it.
And this disagreement about how to proceed that occurred. Maria, Amethyst, I know you both wanted to end it. I can see the opinion.
I figured getting it done tonight would be better, but the group didn't think so.
And I just wanted that stupid bitch to leave. And I was also really happy at the idea that maybe we found him and we would get credit and, like, you know, rub it in their face. Like, your Kuijin couldn't find him. Ha 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 ha. McNeil says, all right, I'll make this simple for you next time. If the information he gives at the next meeting is not satisfactory, then we turn him in.
As a carcass?
Kill him.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a carcass, but I mean, like, that makes sense. Like, we give this guy the shot, and if it doesn't pan out in our favor, we can say we found him. No harm, no foul, right?
No, kill him, take the relic, deliver it back. And this is the reason. Your group has to be the one to go meet him again. But the story won't add up if your group is the one to find him. Especially after he's moved out of Los Angeles.
Oh, that's pretty easy, actually. I can give you a reason for that. He didn't have the pizza pan with him.
No, you don't know about.
Go get it.
And
Right,
we,
you didn't know.
we followed him.
Right,
to
but
the
you're
pizza
supposed to report it first. So what we'll do instead, you'll do the meeting, and if it doesn't go south and there's any question that your information isn't satisfactory, you kill him, you take the relic, and we'll say that another group of our kindred caught him. It'll be scrutiny proof, and it won't come back to you, and this whole clandestine meeting will never come to light. Savvy?
Fair. Savvy.
All
Sure.
right. Get some sleep. There's food in the other room if you need it.
I like the idea that it gets some sleep, and
There's
everyone
some
just goes
dudes hanging out.
like dominoes.
Everybody just falls over like
yeah,
that.
all the dominoes.
And sunrise.
Yeah, I'll fill up.
It's ghouls.
We should already be. Oh no, you guys spent some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent some.
So we're at full willpower now. Is
So-
that how this works?
Everybody except for people who have spent willpower already would have been. They would have recovered all their willpower at the end of the last
Right.
arc.
Yeah, I just spent one, so I'm at 1 out of 3. So they're ghouls, so they're ghouls, so they're like cool with us doing this.
Well, they're mind controlled to be cool with it.
Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, get me right here. I like it when you do it here.
So this is the Anarch War Room. It's some sort of mansion, right? And basically the butler and maid staff are all ghouls, and
Okay.
like they're like, yeah, come, go ahead, take some blood. It's like, so
I like the idea that they have a silver platter, and they take it off. It's just their arm on the silver platter. You know, like...
That's pretty funny.
And then I can take 2 from a mortal, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep, that's good.
So if you guys feed, you know, blah 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 blah. Morgan, you follow Ice Cream Man, which is his disguise again. He put the wheel in the ice cream thing. That's why he's carrying that around. Like you can't just.
He didn't put it on the cart to make it a wheel.
Yeah.
No.
That hiding in plain sight.
He makes one of those.
It onto the side. There we go.
Makes one of
And
those
he-
three-wheel cars, you know, and he just.
He
drives
snuck
it
through the
around.
festival in his disguise up to a van where he then transferred it again, and then he drove you. He can drive.
He
So now
has
you're-
one dot in drive.
You guys are in a car, and granted, this would be sort of like alongside the other people, like going back to the Kuijin and pretending to finish the stakeout for the rest of the night. So just keep that like time frame in mind. But so he's driving, and like it's sort of an awkward, silent car ride as you're with him, and you're heading sort of east out of LA. Like, do you break the silence? Does he break the silence? Like.
Is it just me and him? Like,
Yeah, it's just-
passengers? Okay.
Yeah, and like it's a van, and like he's got like this like altar in the back of the van to like hold this thing. Like he's very sacred with it. Even in the ice cream truck, it was like all like linens and stuff, and so it's like, yeah, there's nobody else. There's no co-conspirators for this guy. It's just him.
God, I wish I was there so I could be ignorant.
I'm gonna be staring out like the passenger window for a little while. That nice building awkward silence as we travel along for a little bit. But then I'll kind of side glance towards him and just say, you said there's accommodations, like good ones?
Well, I didn't plan to stop over a day, but I will find something. I'm a man of ability. If we have to break and enter, I mean, a shed in the woods, just as long as the sunlight is kept off of you. I have worked with Kui Jin. They have the same weakness.
Okay, good. Obviously, it might be prying, but what's your deal with them in this thing? Did you used to work for them?
I was an honor guard for their reliquary.
Okay.
My
So-
entire family line was bred and raised to guard and understand these relics.
Got it. We have people like that, kind of. So you just wanted this? It sounded like you said there was something dangerous about it.
The information that it reveals is dangerous to the world, and the Kuijin were content to keep it hidden. I was not, after I learned of its nature.
Wait. Okay, so the information is dangerous for the world, but you want to reveal it?
So imagine that there was a terrible evil or a terrible catastrophe, an earthquake, a tidal wave, an exploding volcano, and you knew it was going to happen. And all of the people who it would affect did not know. And that you simply didn't tell them.
It's like some Pompeii shit.
I didn't go to enough college for this. But I mean, isn't that sort of the thing about not messing with fate?
The Kuijin believe in fate. They believe in the wheel. They believe that nothing can be done to stop the catastrophe, and therefore no one should know about it. I believe that people should know about it, even if they can't do anything to stop it.
Is this something that's supposed to happen soon?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Locally?
Everywhere.
Like in an hour.
she's like looking at her watch.
There's a
Countless
Leatherman
generations.
mask.
Countless generations of my people have guarded this secret because there was time and they did not need to question the wisdom. And now there isn't as much time. And I thought of the West and I thought of all that you and your people are capable of. And I thought, my people, the Kuijin, are capable of amazing wonders and are going to choose to do nothing. What if there were others who would choose to do something?
I suppose that's a fair point, and I guess it's a bit similar to the group I've recently found myself a part of.
I have contacts in the supernatural world in America. I intend to deliver this disc to them. They are the ones that I believe can discern the information and disseminate it. Your group,
Yep.
I can understand that you would like to be involved in order to, well, buy my way out of that situation. And frankly, I wasn't in the mood to kill you all.
Well, most of us didn't seem really in the mood to do the same either. So other supernaturals. I mean, I'm not surprised to hear there are even more. Can you tell me what you're talking about?
I do not know what they call themselves.
Wizards.
Or if you would have heard of them. They aren't vampires. They are mystics and magi, I guess, is the closest that I could say. They reached out to me through supernatural means. They somehow were aware of my doubt, and they made the deal with me. They helped me to make my escape in many ways, and they desire this information.
Oh, well, mark me as curious.
Your people will learn something of what's going on here, and then I will move out of Los Angeles, and the trail will run cold, and the Kuijin will have no bargaining chip with which to keep their small army in your small city. And they will fan out over the rest of America, and they will cause headaches for other vampire groups. And that will be that.
I'm gonna be quiet for a minute and continue just sort of staring out the window as we drive. Like, how close is it to sunrise? Is it still pretty late, or?
I mean, this is sort of like just as you've passed outside of the city, and a few more hours will pass. Like, he will, unlike the other group, which knows where they're sleeping and so can go almost right up to sunrise before they go to bed. Like, he's going to stop you. Like, he's gonna like 2 hours before sunrise, he's gonna start like casing places to see where a good place might be, and he's eventually going to settle on a gas station that's being renovated, so it's not being used. Like, he passes one, and so he'll just like pull down some boards and be like, "You can get in the closet, and I'll make sure that no one disturbs your slumber this evening. Well, this day." You're muted.
Sorry, I clicked it off. I said, "Yep, cozy as a coffin."
So just gonna so you accept that you don't need anything else. Like,
I'll make sure there's like clothing, tarp, anything else, just to be extra double safety, sure. But
yep,
otherwise,
that's fair.
But otherwise, like I said, Morgan's pretty used to slumming it here and there when she can, so not a big deal for her.
Right. The chat is now getting real deep into World of Darkness lore, trying to guess what magical people this guy has made contact with.
I blame Zabani.
Yeah, I do blame Zabani too. A mage couldn't beat Kane. Kane is a demigod. Like, he's got the mark of God so that literally no one can touch him.
Don't listen to Zabani. He's my troll PC.
Yeah, now I'm getting deep
He just
into...
likes stirring things up.
Yeah, he's stirring things up all right. Also, and Spiro doesn't know this either, but Die Party people will be aware that I'm not really a fan of mage. So certainly if they are in this campaign, they do not appear as written in the books. So we'll find out together if they're a part of it. So you go to bed, everybody goes to bed. The next night, Morgan, you wake up in the gas station. A horrible thought occurs to you. He could have just left. Like, it occurs to you the second you wake up. He could have just fucked off the second you fell asleep.
I'm not great at this. I'm happy to admit I'm new.
Okay, but as that thought crosses your mind, you open the door and he's still sitting there.
Oh, goodness.
But he does immediately say, it's like, I hope you appreciate that I could have left during the day. I am trying to make a show of good faith here.
Yeah. Thanks for that, because could have been my ass if I screwed this over.
Mm-hmm. So, shit. Hold on a second.
No problem.
So he says, oh God, my geology is fucking terrible. Let's just I don't know. I'm gonna say this right now. I do not know if you have to pass through the Sierra Nevada to go from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. Let's just say that you do have to.
I think it's the other way.
I know.
But that's fine. I don't care.
We're just gonna go ahead.
World of Darkness.
Like, there's a mountain range you have to pass through it.
Yeah.
So he says, we will make it to the Sierra Nevada tunnel. Have your people meet us there, and we can, if there is no chicanery on your part, then I will trust you enough to go into further detail about what the item is, and then I can pass into Nevada, out of your territory and out of your hair.
Okay. And then this is asking question. 90s is like my headset thing still like good at this distance? Cell phones? It's been a little while.
You paged me. I get it. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay, pagers. I forgot
The point is
they
that-
existed.
Can
Jesus.
we stop at a payphone?
I think the specifics are not that big of a deal. The point is you are capable of contacting your people and can and do.
Pull out your Morse code device.
So everybody heads to. I assume everybody is then down to head to this tunnel.
Sure. I'm
Mhm.
down.
Is anybody going to do any additional sort of prep work? I mean, you're going to have like an hour or two before when you wake up. Tape recorder. Got it.
I put gel in my hair.
Got it.
I'm getting hungry for specific reasons. There's only this one poor sap in front of me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Good luck.
He's eating like donuts that have like jam in them.
You've got
and he
plenty
takes a
of
bite,
blood.
and then jam comes out, and he just like.
She doesn't want to drink from this guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I got tomato
As a
sauce
note.
all over my chest. and-
So he basically drives this van into the tunnel in the mountains, and then like at a random maintenance bypass, just like kicks the door in and like moves the thing off of the road. You know, it's the middle of the night. Not a lot of people are going to be crossing the mountains through a tunnel in the middle of the night.
I don't know.
But
Have
he's
you ever
sti-
been to Vegas, man? People want to go
Well,
there.
but we're not at Vegas yet. Is sort of the point. Like they have a nightlife.
In
I'm
the
not
fictional
sure-
version of Water Darkness, people are always going to Vegas.
Sure, whatever. The point is, he moves the whole affair out of where random passerbys could see it and into like a maintenance bypass. And the rest of the team will follow, by a couple of hours, I guess, because it takes a little while to
Yeah,
drive
yeah.
out there.
Well, I mean, we all sit on Amethyst's back, and she runs there.
Fun fact: anarchists they are.
Do they have baby seats for like that shit? Oh, I love
Well,
it.
so no, the fun fact that I'm saying here is that celerity, the super speed that you've seen Amethyst used, can usually only be used in short bursts, but specifically anarchists developed a version of celerity that can be used over a long period of time.
Is that the equivalent of like riding 3 horses, but carrying
because
some
they-
behind?
because they
It's like Andre the Giant pulling us up the cliffs of insanity, but just
right,
running.
yeah. As anarchists, right, like they were required to move from city to city, so they there's some random thing somewhere that says, oh, by the way, anarchists have like they can use a power of celerity that's like long haul or whatever and run like a whole night or whatever.
It's Anarchs in the 90s. You're obviously all on skateboards with
Running
like just
right,
little
exactly.
like leashes on her.
You guys show up, and since we haven't talked about betraying him, we don't have a secret surprise, which means you show up and it's just you guys, and he doesn't sense any sort of betrayal.
So, records, just out of curiosity, we were told that if we're not satisfied with his answer, we kill him.
You kill him and take the relic.
Okay, cool.
And what he meant, like, satisfaction is on you guys, basically. Like, if
Sure.
he tells you enough information, you're like, oh, okay, then you can leave. But this guy's he's a big deal for some reason. We don't know why. So it might be a tough one. Right. So you guys come in, and he's like, there has been no betrayal. You did not betray me to the Kui Jin, despite me knowing that one among you wanted to. And
That's how we roll.
that allows me to trust you. He takes out the big stone wheel and says, all right, I scarcely know where to begin.
The beginning.
God made the world.
Well, that's a beginning.
No, it's true. I'm Irish. Go on.
He made...
Is that the accent you're doing?
There was an Eden on earth, and all of God's creation reveled in perfect utopia for countless centuries. And then man was cast out of the Garden of Eden, and things were still great, but not as good. And then there was a collapse, and the great many cities and the supernaturals and the people who lived together in harmony were scattered, and the Wan Kuei fell from grace, and the Yami kings rose, and there was a great period of darkness and upheaval.
Oh, Wreckage, just for clarification, I did hit the record button, and I'm not trying to hide it, right? I made it clear that I'm recording what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Is he okay with that?
He's like, so when you pull out the recorder, he will say, I trust you. I don't trust necessarily everyone you could conceivably share this information with. I ask that if you're going to record it, you be choosy with who you play it back to.
Well, naturally.
All right. Well, that's the most I can ask for in this situation. Anyway, back to the story. Then there were great empires in the west and in the east, and great pyramids built in this new world and in all over the world. And those civilizations fell, and there was a great dark age. And then the modern era, filled with crime and corruption, and supernaturals dominate mortals across the world, and terrible people act in terrible ways. Do you see the pattern that I'm trying to paint here?
People are scum.
The world was once perfect, and it has been getting worse.
You could have just skipped to that part. We already knew that.
He asked me to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
The Kuei-jin believe, our people believe, in a philosophy of dharma and karma. We call it the Wheel of Ages, the eternal cycle of being. The earth suffers through eras of increasing misery until the nadir of the cycle is reached, the apocalypse. Hell on earth. The Yami kings will ascend from the other underworld. They will sit the throne of God, and all will be misery. And then the cycle will move out. The Yami king will be unseated. Things will slowly get better. And eventually, they will move back to Eden, paradise on earth, but that will take countless centuries. And every time the cycle repeats, as we believe it has many times, the great evil forces attempt to stop the cycle at the nadir, at the apocalypse. Each era is shorter than the last as you move down the wheel. Eden lasted for untold millennia. The Dark Ages lasted for only a few hundred years, and now the modern Knights itself has lasted 100 years. So we are approaching the next phase in the cycle.
Hell on Earth. That one?
Hell on Earth.
Lovely.
So it's got to get warmer.
This stone wheel
Everyone just
has
ignores Fred.
Oh, that's basically the thing now. Everyone just ignores it.
Nope.
This stone wheel, known as long faded through age, depicts the cycle. Through esoteric magics that I am not even comprehensive of, it tracks where we are on the clock of the apocalypse. I wish to put it in the hands of someone who can discern how much time we have left and maybe to work against it.
Is this another mystic of your order or something? Who is this dude?
They are Western magi of some persuasion. I don't actually know.
Oh, if you needed wizards, there was some in LA.
I don't understand.
Oh my god.
We had to move the tablet out of LA regardless. That's where the Kuijin have influence. The Midwest of your country's strange term. The Kuijin have no influence there. They will not be able to find me or the disc. And so now you know everything that this relic is and what I intend to do.
Okay.
If you questions,
Yeah. Are we just gonna sit here and just hope that you do right by us and the rest of the world? Like, what happened? Like you say, hell on earth. That seems pretty significant.
it could still be hundreds of years away. I must bring it to these mystics to determine how soon it is. I know it is soon comparatively on the long scale of history, but well, not in my lifetime maybe, but your lifetimes of course can go as long as they
Exactly right. So it does concern us, to the point where I don't want to live in hell on earth. I think LA is pretty crap as it is. I can't see it getting any worse. But you're saying
people
it's
are
going to. So.
Your people are of the undead. I don't want to presume, but the nature of the cycle is when the forces of the underworld consume the world of the living. I'm not saying it would be pleasant necessarily, but for supernaturals, maybe it isn't so bad.
Well, let me just say this much. We kind of need the mortals to exist. So that would be bad. Right? I look at Amethyst and maybe even like Morgan. I don't know how long she's been a vampire for, and I'm just like, I mean that makes sense, right? Like,
My leg's just twitching.
yeah.
I'm just looking anxious.
So, how can we help?
By letting me go.
I mean, there's got to be more to it than that. Let me just reiterate. We want to help. It should concern us. How can we help? You know, in my mind, wreckage, this is like, oh yeah, this is a cause. Give me something like this I can get behind. Like, you know what I mean? Stopping hell on earth. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, interesting. I am impressed, kindred of the West.
It's
The Kuijin tell,
you know.
the Kuijin tell tales of your kind that are much more selfish and self-serving.
We're not all like
plenty
that.
of us are.
Yeah.
But I tell you now that what you have done for me is you have resisted great temptation and great personal desire to get me this far, and I must go on the next leg of the journey alone. But I can remember your good spirit, and I can stay in touch. I ask now that the number one thing you can do for me is to not abandon your friends and your home and your aspirations and your society. Go back, make sure that the Kuijin leave Los Angeles. I have already escaped, assuming that there has been no betrayal, which I do not believe that you have.
And how are you going to get in touch with us?
the magi that I am meeting with.
Mirrors?
Yes, actually.
As I said, we've had some wizardry happen to us recently, so...
Oh yeah, the mirrors.
Perhaps it's a twist of fate. And then Amethyst betrays everybody.
Nom, 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 nom. It's my wheel of time now, bitch. So I look at everyone and I was like, are we cool?
I mean, that seemed like good information to me, right?
And as long as we're kept
Yeah.
abreast of the situation, I don't see any problems.
Yeah, I can write bad fantasy books too.
Scathing.
It's called the Bible. You should read it.
This tea is delicious.
I like how I didn't say it, but you sort of assumed that he poured out like tea or whatever. It's like, so then we part ways. He says, sort of like picking up the disc.
As long as we're told when the apocalypse is going to happen and what we can do to stop it.
Amethyst looks nonplussed, unfazed, sort of like eye-rolly. And she sort of leans into Marie and it's like, this is absolutely the sort of bullshit that the Kuijin would care about. I don't give a fuck. Let him go. Right?
I mean, yeah, whatever.
It's no problem for me.
All right, Ponytail. We agree. You can get the fuck out. And he sort of like bows respectfully, wraps the disc back up in, satin or whatever sort of sacred cloth he's carrying it in.
At Jersey, LA Lakers.
Magic Johnson.
I love it.
Turned inside out because there was like buffalo stains on like, the one side.
Is it? LA hospitality.
Yeah, he he sort of stands to leave. Like he's sort of going to kind of leave first, and then you guys can leave later. That's sort of like don't want to leave at the exact same time. And just as he's sort of like, you guys part ways, he sort of like offers to shake Damien's hand. Like, I understand that this is a gesture among your people of trust and friendship. And
All right, yeah, I'll shake the guy's hand.
And then he
Sort of
steals your soul.
he shakes his hand, your hand.
No, you have to be Santa Claus. Thanks, everybody. Good night. That's all I got.
And then Damien turns into Tim Allen.
Oh my god. Now
You ruined the plot twist of my Christmas special.
Oh, now you have to be Santa Claus.
Oh my god. Santa Claus is just a vampire with his celerity, guys.
Oh, God.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Oh, it feels good, man.
I shake his hand, Wreckage.
I just killed Lily.
Dead.
Okay.
You shake his hand and he leans in and whispers, now you're the ice cream man. So you shake his hand, he's sort of like clasped you on the shoulder, like very like warrior, like, yeah, ooh, yeah, we're buddies now. And just as he turns to leave,
flips me the bird and runs away. Damn it.
The so all at once, a long sort of spear-like appendage pierces his heart from behind, and he starts bleeding everywhere as blood's pouring out of his mouth.
What the fuck?
Damien, the long spear-like appendage is coming from your suit coat.
I'm sorry, what?
Uh,
Yeah, wait,
My
what's happening?
suit coat? What do you mean?
Like, well, like your shirt, whatever, like inside your shirt.
Okay, real quickly. Did I ever get touched by any of these Kui Gen?
No.
It's coming from inside my shirt.
Out of your shirt.
Is it like a somber tentacle? Like what the fuck is it?
Out of your shirt, like Gumby,
Oh fuck you.
a man materializes. He's naked.
The claw's coming from inside the shirt. Yeah.
Ice Cream Man drops dead on the floor.
Okay.
How
big is this man? This naked
he's
man?
a full-sized man now.
What is happening?
okay.
Okay.
I am definitely backing up from all of this.
What the fuck? Okay. I try and hurt this man. Wreckage.
How are you going to try and hurt this man?
Is he in front of me?
He's in front of you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to potence my way into his face.
Okay, now I just want to mention something for my own sake. You have a fancy new gun?
Okay, sure. You know what? I put a bullet in him.
You go for the gun and it's not there. In fact, that's where the spear came from.
Hang on. My gun is a naked man?
It's Leslie Nielsen. The Naked Gun.
Everywhere I look reminds me of you.
Do you have a full body condom, Dave?
Always practice safe sex.
Outside, the Ice Cream Man's van explodes, as does the car that you drove in. And seemingly out of nowhere, a squad of looks like Kui Jin move in, and you suddenly all at once realize how Chinese this naked man appears to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand through his spine.
Well, we're gonna find out how that's gonna play out next week.
God damn it!
What?
I'm so confused, Wreckage.
You can't just have him grow a naked man out of his shirt.
Everything was kosher,
did just-
we did everything right, and then Wreckage is like, your gun turns into a naked Asian man and kills him, and I'm just like...
Mm-hmm.
So Ice Cream Man is dead?
He was the chosen one. How could a spear out of a naked man kill him? He was all like, I'm gonna kill you guys, and you're vampires, and... okay, well...
Well,
I am
there's
significantly Jimmy ruffled. Everything's been rustled. I don't. Okay. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the return of Die Party LA at Night. It's been a while, but we're back, and I think this is a good first episode to come back on. I made a friend, and then Wreckage killed him, so that's fun. With a naked Asian man.
Oh my god.
Parasito did more art.
Oh, yeah?
I
love it.
The whole squad running on Amethyst's back.
That is fantastic.
May actually happen next episode.
Yeah, there's a good chance. That's pretty good. You forgot about Rodney, but that's cool.
No, Rodney's there.
Oh, he's just the invisible guy.
Duh.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right.
I love how Morgan's like, wait, where are we going?
Yeah, just holding on like.
Secret Asian man.
Oh my god.
Oh, credit to Harley in the chat for that one.
I think that's the episode title, actually.
Secret Asian man. It works too because somebody watching it will be like, "Oh, this episode's titled Secret Asian Man," and there's a secret Asian man, and then they get to the end, and it's like, "That's not what the title was talking about at all."
Oh, wordplay.
Nice. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, let's do some shout-outs and wrap this bitch up. Let's start off with Storyteller Spira. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoyed your first episode with us, and there's plenty more to come, but where can people find you and all that stuff?
Yeah, so I stream on Twitch. It is just twitch.com/StorytellerSpira. My main gig is Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. EST is my ongoing New York by Night Vampire the Game. But we also do other World of Darkness games, and after the holidays, we're also going to be doing D&D and Shadowrun, branching out a little bit.
Which Shadowrun are you doing? Because I do the Anarchy one. That game is fucking fun. If you're going to do Shadowrun, I suggest looking at Anarchy because it is so much fun.
Okay,
It's
we're
really
definitely.
fun.
I'll definitely take a look at that because it's actually my husband's going to be running it. I'm just going to be playing.
Ooh, because the other one's like old school, and Anarchy's like, yo, let's just tell a cool story, like.
I think he might be leaning that way. We're definitely using 5e just because I hear it's a lot cleaner than some of the older ones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's what we currently do. A lot of World of Darkness. We do lots of one shots just for fun. Like Everyone is John. We'll play every now and then. After the holidays, more D&D and Shadowrun. And then if you go to my Twitch page, it has my link for my YouTube and Twitter and everything like that. All of our videos are uploaded to YouTube later if you can't catch it or you got other streamers you want to catch live. That's about it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll add you to my Life Partners page on YouTube, and we can do that cross-linking bullshit that people do. Lilypad, let's talk about you. What up?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. We're glad to be back. This is a really good coming back episode. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Spirit was awesome to play with you for the first time. Really looking forward to meeting Morgan more. Yeah. I'm Lily. I stream over on Twitch, Lilypad Nebula. Twitter is the same thing. YouTube is I lost my URL because I did the switch. So right now it's at youtube.lilypadnebula.com. It just goes to the big long YouTube string.
Whoa, okay. That's a long one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that fixed. Because right now it's the youtube.com/c/ yeah, it's that whole thing. So I'll hopefully get that fixed sometime soon. But yeah, all those stuff. Thanks again for hanging out with us, and yeah, look forward to more LA at night.
All right, Spooty Tooty Weapon Booty. What up? How you doing?
Yeah, no, this was I've missed playing this game. It has been too long. We've got a good crew again going. It's going to be super fun. Spirit, it's great to meet you and play with you. You can find me on the tweet bird thing at Sputnik_71 and on Twitch at Sputnik71. I'm slowly working on piecing together a PC, so hopefully you will see me doing some more streams. I've been sort of lax on that lately, but yeah. And I'm on YouTube somewhere too. Just shoot. If you just search Sputnik_71, you'll find my channel. There's some shit on there.
Nice.
There's some crap, some garbage.
Yeah, just some bullshit you can wipe your ass with.
Nice. Speaking about wiping your
Flush
ass
down
with,
the toilet.
Counterproductive to wipe your ass with shit.
Well, I mean, maybe. Speaking about wiping your ass with shit, let's go over to our storyteller, Mr. Dr. Wreckage. Hello, sir. How are
Definitely
you?
going to be confusing going forward when the story. First person we call to is Storyteller Spira. Last person we call to is the Storyteller, Dr. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Wreckage. I hope you enjoyed the exciting, explosive return to Vampire LA at night. I had a lot of fun. I didn't know exactly where this episode was going. I think it got there just fine. I'm really pleased with the results. I hope everyone else is too. I am very pleased with Aracito's art, as always. I did call it the Kui Jin arc, so did you think it would end that easily and soon?
No, I thought we would travel across the countryside with this dude, and then he would have to fight off Kui Jin. That's what I honestly thought would happen. But then you're just like, naked Asian man comes out of your chest, Dave, and kills him. I'm like,
It is.
and your sweet girl that you've been waiting the entire season for? Yeah, that was an Asian man too.
It's so useful to have you guys have no idea anything about the Kui Jin. I didn't make this shit up. He just did a thing that they can do.
So what happened to the gun then? That's what I want to know.
Hey, have you seen Soul Eater? It's just that. Now you have a gun that's also a partner.
Yeah, you just have to become friends with him.
God.
It's like, it's boyfriend. Oh, it's boyfriend dungeon. That new game coming out.
So I throw my
there
gun
we
at
go.
someone, he turns into a spear Asian man and kills him, and then he runs back to me and turns into a gun. I put him in my holster. I like it.
So he was the gun. Like you're gonna learn more as time goes on. Probably.
Did he buy the fucking gun from, like, is this like some sort of stupid weird long con where the guy's like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be a gun and you sell it to the vampires and he'll give it to the guy that's working with us, and then when they inevitably betray us, I'll stab the guy. Is that what
It's
happened?
like the little guy they shove into the cart in Ocean's 11, push him into the vault.
It sounds to me like you might have a mystery on your hands if you get out of here alive.
Look, man, there's so many like, is he just like, is he like, I own this Asian man, right? That's how that works.
Whoa!
I own this person.
So I was cleaning that gun at some stage. You know, I was like, you know, cleaning it. I was like putting bullets in it and stuff.
Oh God!
You know, was it like vibrating and like, it's like, yes, that's a good gun. You like that, don't you? Like,
Dave, please don't go too deep down this rabbit hole.
draw that fan out,
deep
Aracito.
Aracito, please don't draw that fan art.
Or do.
I won't tell you how to live your life, but if you do draw it, you can never undraw it. Yeah. You know, I was happy for the break because it's really hard for me to put all the energy into GMing and stuff and etc. And I won't get too much into it, but I'm also very glad to be back.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, stuff's still hard over here, so I promise I'll always bring you LA at night. But at least for the time being, I will also be bringing you, assuming they show up. We haven't asked if people are free this week yet. Dead Man's Crest.
No, people have asked me. I think we're still on board for that. So
Well, yeah. So assuming that all of the players aren't like at TwitchCon number 10 or experiencing Hurricane Ira number 5, then that show will also probably go up this week, same time, same place, and we will be switching to Savage Worlds. Well, we have done, at least for characters, and we will play with Savage Worlds for now, as long as I am the GM, which might be a temporary situation. No big deal.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's episode. If you did, a like and a follow would be much appreciated. And if you're feeling saucy, why not subscribe? Get access to the cockpit and the best emotes on Twitch. On top of that, we have a couple of things. So we're back after a long hiatus of not doing anything because of my honeymoon. Abyss is definitely on for tomorrow. Dead Man's Crest is probably going to happen. Surge is most likely going to happen as well. Board Games Beta Bros will also be back, unless she won't be there.
Surge is actually on Thanksgiving, so.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that's gonna go up.
Be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fucking Americans. God damn it.
Hey,
No, we
I'm
have
just
holidays.
trying to give thanks. We're thanking Australians for staying all the way over there.
Yeah, Poland. Yeah. So maybe not. We'll see. But I'll probably do a drawing board episode or something like that for the fan party then if it's going to be down. But we also have the next episode of Fan Party coming up on December 2nd. There are 3 tables available right now that you can go and throw your booty in the hole for. I'm going to be looking over that after this episode finishes while it's rendering, and I'll put a link in the Discord where you can sign up for that. People who have who are a Twitch subscriber or a Patreon, you guys, as of the friend tier and above, you guys will have a free ticket to join. Wreckage might be doing a guest table. But the game is definitely going to be Vampire the Masquerade. Wreckage, what was that scenario you said? Because we'll probably roll with that.
I said that a good setting for that would probably be Spira's New York by Night. Because it has all of the different types, and each of your tables could be one of the factions.
Yeah, so that's what we're probably going to go with. We're probably going to be like, we'll have one event, something that's happening, and every table will be a different faction doing something to affect that event, and we'll see how we go. So it should be interesting. If you want to sign up for that, head on over to Discord, which is !Discord in the chat, or Discord/Henley, I think it is. I don't know. I can't remember what that URL is. But, yeah, that's all happening. It's happening. We're back for reals. Embers should be back on Sunday as well, so we'll see how we go with that. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, and that's where we're going to call it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.